Hello, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Sunday. Welcome to February, the shortest month, which I always find a little bit jarring. This one seems to come to an end faster than usual, but we've just begun. We're on the first day. Welcome, everybody. Kitty, do you want to come say hi? You want to come sit? I will make the finest spot for you here. How you guys doing? Scarlet, thank you for the 10-month resub. Woo woo, sometime. Signs-year-old, the Twitch ad algorithm showed me a TurboTax ad. Reminded me I need to do that. I mean, does filing taxes make you old? I feel like it just makes you employed. Some teenagers have jobs. Most of them pay taxes. Hi, Hazel. Hi, how you doing? Hello, Hazel. Good morning. I am doing just a little dark heart thick. I need it for my hunter. We're going to do more fun stuff today, but I figured if while I was looking at this and thinking about it, I was just going to do it. Got to figure out what to do for Valentine's Day. Nice. You go out for Valentine's Day or stay home for Valentine's Day kind of person? I learned pretty quickly. I'm not a go out for Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day person. I'm not opposed to going out for Valentine's Day sometime in the week before or after. But busy establishments, not that romantic. For me, consuming tea. Oh, very nice. What kind of tea do you have? Wait until it's over, go later. Yeah, I think that's the move. I like a cozy home thing, but that's just this is pretty predictable. It's just me. What are we doing? We're gonna find a. Oh my! They took my multi-shot away. I'm trying to AoE these mobs and it's not happening. What about Wild Thrash? That sounds AoE related. It's like a 7-second cooldown. How am I supposed to spam cleave this trash now? You know me, typical British tea. Black tea? Orange Bacot tea? Ceylon tea? English breakfast? I used to be a big English breakfast girly. Went marksman on my hunter because no multi-shot sucks. I think that's the first time I've noticed it. I guess I haven't done a lot of content since or at least I haven't done a lot of combat on my hunters since they changed stuff. Hello, how you doing? I won those roles on those missions I sent out, so I got through that. If I can get my Legion Fall follower recruited for hunter, I can start my last research for my very last pinky swear, actually for real this time, piece of Legion Order Hall related decor. So today's a big day because we've got that. We've got Trading Post. And at 10 a.m., I'm pretty sure, so like an hour from now. Wait, not even at 10 a.m. Anytime. It's not... a lot of holidays start at 10 a.m. I guess this one starts at midnight. Dark Moon Fair, which I don't think has, decor, but I need profession skill points. I am a couple of skill points off of Kazalgar professions to make some decor. And at that point, it gets pretty expensive and spark heavy to raise your skill with the armor crafting profs. So I am happy to take Snow Crab and Lamprey out to the Darkmoon Fair to do the weekly. And that should get them to the point where they can make the actually last for realsies pieces of profession decor. Because I made my alchemy table yesterday. Yeah, Darkmoon Fair. Don't mind it, Wild Thrush hits harder, comes for your pets. I just liked, and I know it wasn't truly spammable because you would run out of resources for it pretty quick, but I just like a spammable AoE for running old content. This isn't too long of a cooldown though. 8 seconds is pretty alright. Darkmoon Fair getting 800 rep per chat list. Nice. You are so admirable for being committed to chat lists and miscellaneous mechanica at this stage. I wish I was. I'm not. I fell out of it. Druid Swipe feels good. Yeah, Druid Swipe, Holy Nova, Arcane Explosion, that kind of thing. Big fan. Is there a portal in Dornrigal? Not sure. Usually I just kind of go to Stormwind and then take the teleporter or just fly. Or go to Orgrimmar and take the teleporter because it's a little bit of a longer flight. What order should I do this stuff in? I guess I want to see what am I going to do for the Trading Post. I should plan that in advance. One of the reasons I started with this was just in case... oh, we have a big Trading Post this month. Okay. So you get your fill the bar reward at the normal spot, but then you can get an extra 500 tender if you keep going. Okay. Oh, man. Godzilla, thank you very much for the brand new Primes. Appreciate it. Thanks for picking me for your Prime. I think today I would love to get at least as far as this pack of lunar explosives. Maybe I don't care that much. As long as I have some plan to do all of this before the end of February, then I think we'll be all right. Okay, so we got our quest done. That's good. I guess I was kind of hoping that maybe something would count, although old dungeons typically not. Dungeon bosses, no, grand experience. Okay, didn't count. Doesn't matter. That's all right. Let's go back. Watching yesterday when you finished, never shut it down. All of a sudden, you started talking today. That can really jump scare people if you leave the tab open. I have definitely spooked some people with my greeting. Week from tomorrow, love is in the air. I am so excited. The sarcasm did come through. You did wonderfully. I think it radiates dry desperation. Not exactly desperation. Another storage crate? Sure, yeah, okay. Love this stream. Well, thanks, Jeff. It's nice of you. Where to start? Where to begin? What sounds like fun to do with coffee? I mean, really any of it. Could begin where I am. Start at the beginning, and when you get to the end, stop. That kind of thing. So Darkman Fair, Trading Post. I guess I should have a look. What do I want to do? There's lots of options. My normal ones are kind of like crafting orders. I do 10 crafting orders. I do 15 pet battles. That gets me 400 points. It's been, what, only 15 years since they added Lava Rocket? Farmed it every year? Why would I think this year is different? I think this is your year. I have full confidence. Trivial... non-trivial quests. 10 non-trivial quests. Weekly gathering quests. Dungeon bosses. There's probably some stuff you can do, like delves and whatnot, that will give you some overlap if you're in the mood for it between Trading Post and Endeavors. I bet you there's a good slate of activities that will allow you to double dip. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Raina Low. How you doing? Happy Sunday. Hope your weekend's going all right. I've discovered the type of housing content that I can engage with, and it's shorts. I watched a housing short of somebody clipping a bunch of stuff together to make another thing, and I had to watch it like 5 times to figure out what it was that they were using. But, oh man. I have a feeling I'm going to watch a lot of stuff like that, and it's either going to give me inspiration or it's going to give me despair. It's going to be one or the other. It's a great big cynical coin flip. I think I need to go swimming for this stuff. Here we go. My house may not look very nice, but at least I have a lot of decor. I'm back up to Lightbringer number 8. I have, according to my most recent DFA count, 1,105 items. 1,105 unique decor collected items. That's our latest update. Waiting until we can copy paste other people's creations to use. I like the idea of looking at concepts of things people have put together, and then kind of making your own version of it with things that are maybe different colors or maybe slightly different item choices, but still kind of like using the inspiration of like, hey, you can fit this stuff together and do this, you know, to kind of give you some more ideas. Because right now I have literal brain. I have a bad case of literal brain, where I don't want to use anything for anything other than what it obviously looks like it should be for, and that's not gonna work. I mean, I guess you can make a house like that, and that is what I've done so far. It's not gonna go very far. There is a better way to get breath. It has to do with the bubbles down there, but I'm just gonna swim to the top here. Use a little water mount here. Oh, thanks, Vulcarian. Title Monkey, thanks for the 7-month resub. Happy Trading Post Day. Happy Trading Post Day. People clipping items through walls to hide them, present them as the texture only. Trading Post should be up. Yep, February. It should be live in here. I've been checking the task list. I haven't been by the vendor yet. At some point I can go by. I have plenty of tender. If I wanted to shop now, I could shop now. I have the same issue. Don't like using things for what they are not. I just need, I feel in my bones that for this, I need to get over myself. I need to get over it. It's, if I want to feel like I've got a really richly detailed place, I'm gonna have to make some stuff out of other stuff. Discount vendors are out too. True. I don't know how much I'm going to get from them. If I didn't buy this stuff the first time, it's probably because I decided I didn't want it that bad. Those discounts would have to be real good. I'm snobby. I'm snooty. I'm picky. Isn't often much good things on there. I really like the things I get. I just refuse to spend my Taylor Swift. I refuse to spend my tender on anything that's not spark and joy. I need to get the Marie Kondo feeling. There is surely somewhere a scam for the breath thing. Maybe not. Maybe they just wanted you to swim real deep. Some of the sets are cool. Mounts are always welcome. I really like the armor sets. They make armor sets for trading posts that they don't really do for anything else. And I like them a lot. The trading post armor sets hit like a nice sweet spot for me of being kind of whimsical and goofy, but not being insanely busy. Sometimes for shop sets, they'll do, not that I'm really collecting those anymore, but they'll do sets that are whimsical or like kind of a cool concept, but they'll make them really intensely detailed and busy, which I understand because like you're selling it for money. But I like the more toned down style that the trading post sets get. Best trading post set I use all the time is the Blood Troll set. Yeah, that's a really good one. Happy Sunday. Struggling with the new changes like nameplates. Yeah, nameplates is a huge change. I'm getting used to it too. I feel like mine look very chunky, but I did that to them. I made them big and chunky. I'm making do though. We'll see how I feel once it comes time to actually like raid and do keys and stuff. Where do these turn in? Probably back in the order hall, yeah? I think I can probably fly up to Dalaran. That's not Dalaran. Raise your eyes to the sky. Observe. That's Dalaran. Right behind there. Yeah, what other trading post sets do I like using? I just put the mushroom, like the garden gnome looking set on, I put the garden gnome looking set on my Worgen, and I think he looks fantastic. Did a raid yesterday. Every single person has a health bar. Yeah, you can for sure turn that off. That's frustrating. I turn that on for healing sometimes, then I turn it off the second I don't need it anymore. There should be even a keybind. If you're looking for nameplates, you can uncheck friendly player nameplates, and I believe you can keybind as well. Yeah, you can keybind show friendlies, so if you want to be able to toggle it on and off, you can have a button for that. Yeah, having friendly nameplates on, like in a city or something, is gonna make you crazy. It's no way to live. Yeah, I like them, or at least I have liked having friendly nameplates in the past for healing. If you're trying to place an AoE heal, you're trying to drop a Sanctify, you're trying to aim a Dream Breath or whatever, then you want to know not only where your people are standing, but where the injured ones are. And that's where friendly nameplates comes in handy. That's the only use case I can think of. For everything else, they're just in the way. It is quiet game sound today. Turn it up. Let's party. True Shot Launch. I don't know how much more campaign I have left after this. I feel like it can't be that much. I've done the world quest part. I feel like by the time you've done the 10 world quests, you're close to the end. Good noon hour. Good noon hour. How you doing? I don't need that. That's just another legendary. Or not a legendary, an artifact weapon. We don't need that. I'm dying to be done with all of this. I'm so close to being finished with class order hall decor. I'm so close. And Dalaran, you betcha. Using a keybind for friendlies. Yeah, I like, because I do use it sometimes. Otherwise, I would just keep it off all the time. But I do sometimes need it, so I like being able to kind of just like turn it on and off. You'd be shocked at the things that are in the keybinding menu. You can keybind all kinds of stuff that doesn't get keybound by default. Sometimes it's fun just to kind of have a read through. Do they have a portal to Dalaran here? You'd think they would, right? Do they not let you just like go back? I know I have a Dalaran Hearthstone, but it's on cooldown. There must be a portal. It's upstairs, isn't it? It's like up there. Yeah, I found it. Found it. Woo! Upstairs in the lodge. Yeah. You can keybind change language. Oh, as long as I can keybind to change it back, or does it just like toggle through the entire list? I could play in French for 30 seconds before I realize I don't actually speak French. cycles through. That's fun. I once changed my client's language to try to learn another language. I thought that would be good exposure. But at the time, the only way to do it was by changing your whole BNets language and then like reinstalling your client or something. So it was like really big and clunky. And then I very quickly realized that if I wanted to show anybody anything in a guide, it would not do any good if that information was in Korean. At least not to anybody that typically watches me. Hi, chat. Also, I was learning on Duolingo, so I didn't get very far. Creative weaponry. I guess she's working on it. I turned on Furbolg. Oh, that language. I thought you meant your client language. Okay, so hi, chat. Like your character's speaking language. Keybinds. Language. There's the mature language filter. Miscellaneous? You can toggle windowed mode? That's wild. Housing keybinds. I'm not used to these. I need to like train. I need to put together like a personal housing keybind boot camp to get me used to actually using all those keybinds, because I end up not doing it. And I know you can like nudge things, and I'm not used to it. And back to the place. I don't know if there must be voice acting in other languages, but I don't know. That's one of the more expensive things for them to localize. Sometimes companies will skip it. I don't know if WoW did it or not. There's not that much voice acting in English. I meant in-game language, commented Gnomish. Yeah. I clued in when you mentioned Furbolg. Do you think there's someone that's tried to learn Furbolg? You know how people learn like Elvish from like Tolkien Elvish? Yeah, you can absolutely change your client language as well. It's just, that's probably still done the way I did it last time, when you have to like do it through BNet and then the whole 9 yards. Val'Sharah, you betcha. Hope there's a community that speaks in Murloc. Oh. Alright, fine. I'll just take myself. I need to update Waypoint UI or turn it back on or something. This default polyhedron's not cutting it for me. Add-ons. Waypoint UI. Yes, please. It is a language that can be learned by both factions. Neutral language opposite faction can read. Watching some bits of Sauerkraut, you can definitely hear localized race voices at least. German gnomes and orcs. I feel like gnome would suit German for some reason. Klingon from Star Trek is a common one people learn. Yeah, I know about that. I watched an interview clip from Emilia Clarke talking about learning Dothraki for filming Game of Thrones. And she talked about how it was like difficult and it's like a fleshed out language, but there's like so little of it like in spoken reference that aside from working with like an expert, there's not that many ways to like fact check like a pronunciation or something like that. And that people were giving her a hard time for speaking Dothraki badly when she's like the only one on camera ever doing it. This one. Okay, you betcha. I feel like I've had 5 coffees and I've only had one. I want to get to the end of this quest line so badly. Hi, Bedelia. How you doing today? Pop Rocka, thanks for the 2-month free sub. Appreciate it. Cheers. Language of the Na'vi was designed so it could be easily learned, pronounced by the actors. That's smart. Horrible toothache. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Interesting to think about in designing a new language. Language creation for fantasy properties must be such a specialized thing. I feel like there's a lot of people that probably wish they could do it easily, but I feel like unless you have like a really solid background in linguistics and how different languages function, you might end up lacking some internal consistency. It might turn out kind of wonky. Like if I tried to make a language, it would go south very quickly. It would get weird. Must be such a niche skill. We going back? We're going back. I'll just fly there. I'll just have somebody fly me there. I hope you get medical attention soon. Tooth stuff sucks. Tooth stuff's not to get messed around with. I was gonna do warband. I needed to learn the flight points. Yeah. Yeah, Token had at least a hobby, if not like an actual education in linguistics. He was a language nerd for sure. Story is someone trying to argue with Tolkien about the plural of dwarves in Lord of the Ring and tried to cite the dictionary, which he was the editor of. There's a funny bit in the foreword of either The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings, or maybe both, where he talks about the plural of like dwarf and elf. And it's so snarky. It's so funny. You can tell he has had it with arguing with people about this. Like, I am writing this thing. Can it? Like, it's really funny. So weird, my idea of fun is turning into a giant crab using barnacle encrusted gems and then using the anima cell toy to get big and then blowing bubbles with the wand and saying bubbles for all in Donegal. It took me like 2/3 of that sentence to figure out that you were talking about WoW toys. Oh man, that does sound fun. I would enjoy seeing a giant crab blowing bubbles for free in Donegal. We were talking about creating fantasy properties, and maybe you have a barnacle encrusted gem. I don't know what other people are into. I haven't had my crystals era yet. Barnacle encrusted gem sounds sick. Alright. This way. I've been so excited for today. Yes. Yes. Okay. Gonna have to do a little bit of a scenario, and then we're gonna have to get our Champion of Legion full after this, which is more questing, but we can deal. We can handle it. We're there. I've repeated the campaign for the last time. Took the same amount of time to realize the subject was WoW toys. Someone was fully raging when I macroed a bubble toy into my spells. I feel like not trolling, but like using toys and pets and stuff to in ways that other people notice is a time-honored tradition. A favorite back in, I feel like it was Wrath, used to be one of the Children's Week pets, Egbert. Egbert does this thing where sometimes Egbert will just peace out and book it in a random direction. And it used to be like a really common and kind of fun thing to have Egbert out with you in raids. So that while you were waiting through like a raid explanation or you were waiting for people to get to the boss, you'd be kind of like hanging out of Egbert range. But then Egbert would do that. And you go straight for the boss. And not everybody knew that pets couldn't pull. So some people would panic that your pet was pulling the boss. Some people would follow it. I feel like that had to have happened at least once. I need to use Flare. They're asking me to be a hunter. That's expecting a lot from me. Here it is. Stick it on the bar, shall we? It might come in handy. Hyper Compressed Ocean is the best between raid pulls toy. Keep seeing the dance party toy used in the auction house repeatedly. What expansion was this? I want to say Wrath. Maybe Kata. I don't... Because I feel like it was a thing as far back as then. Like, that's an old pet, that Children's Week pet. Because I think at a certain point people stopped freaking out about it. Remember the stupid toy trains everywhere? And then they gave us train wreckers. Sometimes I turn into a giant ogre with the anima toy, welcoming people to Donegal that arrive for the flight path. It's cute. Using the toy to turn into a pet and then fight and raid is fun. We end up with a lot of people using like appearance copying toys to like turn into versions of each other. Or like somebody will get transformed into like a Tuskar and then everybody becomes one. Depends on how long it takes you to pull. The more downtime people have, though, the wackier they're gonna get. One of the best responses I got was, "I hate it here." Started in WoD, never heard of it before that. Well, maybe your groups just weren't as fun. Okay, we got a champion. Must not have been raiding with me. Defensive Dalaran. Best thing they put into WoW is the neural silencer. Heading back. Okay. So now we have to do some back and forth because we're going to go to the Broken Shore and then back, and then at the end of it we're going to have to go again to the Broken Shore and then back. But we're there. We've done the campaign. We got to go get our Legion Vault champion. I do not have to do the mount thing. I have the hunter mount. It's happening. And I won't delete these characters that did the campaign. Just in case for some forsaken reason I need something else from Legion class order halls, I will keep these ones. I have the spreadsheet. Yeah, I've got at least one hidden artifact for each class, so I have all of the decor related to hidden artifacts. I don't have all of the hidden artifacts, but I don't want them. I'm okay. Should be someone huntery around here. Not you. Definitely not you. Man. No, that's not it. Continuing the legend is just artifacts. Normally, I come here, and this is where I pick up the Legion Fall thing. I might need a little relog. I might have forgotten the heroic weapon look. That might have been what's holding me up here. Let's go poke around. I did 20 troops for every order hall. You want to see my spreadsheet? This is, I promise, the actual last thing I need to do is getting my Legion Fall follower for decor. This one I accidentally deleted, but I did do it. Yes, there we go. This is the last box in the whole sheet. We have systematically worked through the rest of them, and we have caught up on all of it. This is the end. It's the end. Champion Our Cause gives 15k order resources. Nice for those expensive items. It helps a lot because you need to spend so many resources to get your research tree completed. The last step of it is 10k resources alone. Yep, got all the decor. You get it, yeah. We got it. Did you think I would forget such a thing? Played like a sicko during Legion, so I at least have all the order hall stuff taken care of. Can't figure out where I'm missing a quest. Finished all that order hall nonsense myself today. Nice. It feels good to get done. Okay, gonna just do a little lap. See if I can find what I've missed here. People move. There is a thread we can pick up somewhere. It's around. We'll find it. Yeah, this might set me up. This feels like a bad place to stand. I have a team called Roka. Just did a double take in your character's name. Hey, that's my rogue. Must have an artifact weapon equipped. Ah, phooey. All right, I'll be right back. Must be in my bank. No, there's definitely other stuff. I've hit those vendors a lot. I've been to all of them lots. It's all tracked and homebound. You still didn't get it yet. Still didn't get what? What's up, Buttercup? I have Grummel and Niffin endeavors. Alright, looks like it's Thastra. We'll go back. It's a good job there's portals, otherwise we would be spending an awful lot of time flying around. Engineering solves that problem. Mm. But then you have to be an engineer. Glad Order Hall resources are warband transferable. I have 160k in my OG Demon Hunter still because I didn't think there was any use for them. Oh, it's good to have a stockpile. I ran out, but luckily I was able to get as many as I needed while doing the campaigns. I needed so many campaigns that I ended up getting a bunch of resources from finishing the campaigns and from doing world quests. Trying to get a chair from the Withered Army event chest. Damn thing's never in there. I understand. It took me like 10 plus runs, maybe a dozen or more, before I got my first chair. And I was doing it on Remix to kind of speedrun it. It sucks. That one's really annoying. So it's not the power within. That is for sure not what you're doing. Got her to curse. I think in the grand scheme of things, Damn is a pretty light level of curse. I think it's down there with hell. Pun intended. Do you have another quest? I'm not doing that one. That's not the one. Maybe now I can go get it from the Broken Shore. Maybe now that's where it'll be. My Order Hall campaign thing says it's this, but that genuinely is just choosing a second artifact. Let's go try the Broken Shore again. Back in the day, it was a scandal when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles yelled it in the first movie. Got a whole pile. My main remix character, that was one of the only ones where my resources didn't transfer. Oh, I didn't know that could happen. That sucks. I have to go around like 4 tables. Not good. No. No, getting a batch of them. Somebody around here was trying to farm either 6 or 8 of them, and they were at it for a while. I'm not saying pick a different chair, but consider your health. There we go. That's what we had to do. You have to get your heroic appearance before it lets you pick this up. All right. Now we're cooking. And now we're going back. Oh, dear. Picked up 4. Wasn't bad. Maybe you got lucky, though. I'm just scarred because it took me so many tries to get 1. It was not kind to me. Although I did end up getting a toy that I apparently had never had the entire time that also wasn't on the Legion Remix vendor, so it was worthwhile. I've already forgotten what it was, but it's a +1 and that's what counts. Okay. Back to the Order Hall. I gotta put a marker in her head. I feel like if I do a bunch of tables and a bunch of chairs in my house, it's gonna end up giving church basement. Not that it does when other people do it, but like if I try and do it, not that anyone said I should, but like if I try and do it, I was just thinking about it. Like if I try and do more than 1 table in a room, it's gonna give rec center. Back to server. Had that happen too. Toy dropped while farming crystallized fires. Neat. Nice. Yeah, we did a lot of old things that I'd kind of forgotten about. Server. I'm going. They can't stop me. They can't hold me back. I'm not even going to get the decor from it this morning, but I need to get this done today so that I can start the research. It takes 24 hours to finish the research, so I need to send it off. And then I'll have it for next week. Do I have Homebound installed? I need to turn it back on. While I'm flying places, I need to be browsing what's next on my pursuit list. I need to get the decor from the pre-patch event. I need more badges for it. I should probably go have a look and see if there's any... There's probably some refresh world quests. I'm sure we have new ones. Surprised you didn't do it on Crawdad. Yeah. True. Last 72 hours, beaten 3 Mage Tower challenges. I got Queen Tank one. Nice. That's quite the run. And down here. Mana Root. Use Mana Root. Forage from Leylands within Crimson Thicket to soothe Dibin's wounds. Okay. You betcha. Fell Totem and the healer one, that scares me the most. The healer one apparently can be tricky because of a lot of healers that used to have kicks don't have interrupts anymore, and it's challenging to do without interrupts. You need some stops. Interrupts aren't the only way to stop casts, but you're gonna have to have some stuff because there are some gnarly casts. I did get the Murloc plushie decor. I did. Oof. And we're... Wait, what happened to my quest? Oh no, I'm on it. Okay. We're cool. I thought I regressed. I thought I disconnected and regressed a few steps. I thought I got rolled back. I did not, thank goodness. Hopefully not a thing. Oh, okay. Is the Murloc Transmog back? I think Shaman still has a kick. They may be the only ones that have an interrupt and healer spec, like a proper one. Is the Murloc Transmog back? The Murloc plushie is a furniture item. It's not transmog. It's a current Twitch drop. Murloc trans... Oh, is it back in the trading post? I haven't looked at the trading post. I haven't actually gone shopping with it yet. They brought some things back. They brought, I think you have another chance at, like, fill the bar rewards. I don't remember if Murloc was one of those, though. Did it on Holy Pally, at Stun, Turn Evil, and something else to disorient them. I remember being really upset when I realized that I wasn't going to do it on Priest, because normally I'm very stubborn, and I will do a thing on Priest just because I can, even if maybe I shouldn't. But the healer challenge, the Mage Tower healer challenge, was the one thing that actually talked me out of that. It was going to be so gnarly that I decided that if I could play a Resto Druid, I should. Arguably, the onesie is both a Murloc plushie and a transmog. There's also a Murloc back piece as well, if we want to make it even more confusing. Couldn't do the final boss of Brawler's Guild as a caster. I wanted to do it as a Moonkin. The last boss thing was just death. It was hard. I got stuck on it for a while. Did I even finish all of them, or did I just do as many as I needed to get, like, the mountain stuff? I think I did everything, because there was, like, a titler. There was some reason that I needed to get them all done. Didn't Resto Shami, to be fair. Healer challenge was the most difficult. The thing that always got me about the healer challenge was that it was long. It was so long. And the beginning was so hard. The middle part was mostly just a, are you still paying attention? And then the end was just hard enough to send you back to the beginning all over again a few times. I'm not doing it again. They can't make me. I've done it twice. I did it the first time, and then when they re-released Mage Tower, I did it again, and I'm done. Shadow is harder than healer. Maybe that's why I decided not to do... Well, Shadow is optional, though. Like, the healer challenge is hard no matter which healer you're playing. Thwarting the twins is a hard challenge, but there's definitely ways to make it nicer on yourself. Especially back then, you were able to use them. There was like a Frost Mage build that used Water Elemental to like freeze the stuff that was chasing you. Or like doing it on Moonkin and like rooting them or something. Do you think God Queen was hard? God Queen, I think I did on Enhancement Shaman, unless I'm getting my challenges mixed up. I got coached right through that one. I played it, but it wasn't that hard because I had Flabby telling me what to do. Cooldown timers above unit frame? It's in edit mode. What do you call it? Tracked bars? Cooldown manager? It's the cooldown manager. I think you have to first go into gameplay enhancements and enable enable the cooldown manager, and then in edit mode you can adjust it, and you also have some extra advanced settings here. I feel like they took Frenzy out of... Yeah, they took Frenzy out of here, so I feel like I don't need to worry about Barb Shot anymore. I was only doing that for Frenzy stacks. If those are gone, I don't need to worry about that. Hang on. Gameplay enhancements. Advanced cooldown settings. Barb Shot. Not displayed. Oh, that's these ones. This is tracked buffs. Not displayed. Tracked bars. Beast Clave Withering Fire. Not displayed. Oh, interesting. Okay. Fascinating. Sure. They're trying. It's getting better. It's just a bleed now. Procs your extra beast that gets summoned. Gotcha. Did Fire Mage the day it came out. Second time got it. Twins was my hardest as Frost. Took me 14 hours of attempts. The Twins made me crazy. I did it on Shadow Priest, which I don't recommend. A lot of issues in the Agatha one. Did it as Fury. Hazel did as Fire Mage. I feel like I did Agatha at least once. I definitely did it as Fire Mage because I remember it was Shadowlands when I did it the second time. I might have done it as a Warlock once, maybe the first time around. But I remember being a Fire Mage. I remember combusting. I remember talking myself through my combust rotation while doing it. There's a clip of it somewhere. I have a video of it up on my channel somewhere. I remember I was self-narrating my way through that one. You doing it on Shadow Priest gave me the courage. Do Frost Mage beat it the same day? Remember using Surrender to burn and cheese it. I remember doing that the first time. The second time it wasn't an option. It got actually harder when they re-released it because the cheese that I managed to use to get through it the first time was no longer functional. I had to actually do the darn thing. Because I do remember burning it to get through it the first time. I tried to do it normally for a long time and then ended up burning it instead. Oh, thanks, Grim. Love your instructional vids on too. I think I just, I don't know, I always end up doing, well, it's because it's my most geared character. Priest is my main, so if I want a DPS spec that has item level to take on like a Delve boss or something like that, it's gonna be on Priest. I did, hard mode Underpin on Priest, and I did hard mode Kaiveza on Shadow Priest, and both of them were not great, but it's my, you know, it's my most geared character. And the thing that I can play maybe second best after that is Hunter, and Hunter was no good for Delve bosses because of, especially like BM Hunter, as your pets would just get killed immediately. Did it right before BFA when it wasn't a challenge anymore. You're not a fraud. You're a master of timing. That's just smart procrastination. We got a break in the rain yesterday, so I spent some time out in my garden weeding, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure it's not, like, I'm not accomplishing anything. I'm not even ready to plant yet, so if I'm weeding and I'm just leaving, like, open soil, there's gonna be more weeds there by the time I get to planting anything. I'm basically just harvesting material for my compost pile. But it's, like, a really nice kind of, like, a zen exercise. It's kind of like the bubble wrap of dirt. Not getting Sparkle Kitty is my greatest regret, and wow, I was there. And Mage Tower oddly scaled. Normalizes you to 120. Well, it's nice that it brings you up. Here for the drop, but I like your guides. Oh, thanks. Oh, sweet of you guys. I mean, there's a lot of people you could have picked for the drop. I'm very flattered that you picked to be here. I was thinking for gardening that unless the weeds are like specifically choking out something that I actually wanted to have planted, I might just kind of let them be as ground cover, you know? They're habitat for something. They're naturalized, if not native. They're probably fine. As long as they're not out competing something, I feel like they can just be. Watch a lot of your YouTube content. Aw, shucks. 270 down, 200 lumber to go. Done with Wrath. Nice. I'm gonna need to get some Dornic Fir lumber today. That's a later me problem. I got a little bit yesterday at the end of stream. We're gonna need more. I'm so excited to be finished with profession stuff. We're getting Our last 4 items. I only need 4 more items. 2 blacksmithing, 2 leatherworking. All Kazalgar. And I'm going to get them both today. I'm going to get all of it today. It's happening. Darkmoon Fair is going to save me. Complaining I couldn't do the Healer Mage Tower. Hazel, I did it. I have my book now. Congrats, Nadia. That's amazing. It was just yesterday. It was so fast. Alright, back to the Broken Shore. I don't want to ride this man anymore. I'm sick of the Brewfest Bomber. I've seen it. What should I ride? What do we got? Oh, I don't know how to pick mounts anymore. Here, we'll turn Mount Drill Enhanced on. Maybe that'll give me ideas. This is the curse. You have too many of them. You can't remember what they are anymore. It's February. Do the Love Rocket. Oh yeah, true. What do they call it? A Heartbreaker. X45 Heartbreaker. There it is. Just to rub it in a little bit. I think, 8% of people have it. Time for a broom. Ooh, a broom would have been good too. Match. Sorry, Soljack. You're gonna get it this year. I betcha. Not a big deal, made it easy to get. Listen, regardless of whether or not that's true, it's not a nice thing to say around people that don't have it yet. I don't even use mounts, right? You're a druid. Lunar Festival's got a lot of new stuff this year. I think so. I think it's got decor that we're excited about. When does Lunar Fest start? Week after. There's overlap. Ugh. Do they always do that? Doesn't Lunar Festival normally proc in January? I don't know. Having both of them at once is kind of a lot. I guess it'll help get us through until midnight. Okay. We're doing it. It's happening. Tied to Lunar New Year, moves around in the calendar. So sometimes, when the moon procs. Headless Horseman is still the GOAT holiday mount. IMH show. It's a pretty good one. I don't know. Love Rocket just used to be so rare. I got it the first year that I made it actually attainable. I kind of feel for people that farmed it when it was still 1 in 10,000 or something stupid. I want more pig mounts. Can't wait for holiday decor like actual pumpkins and Christmas trees. Nice. Yeah, a lot of people made really beautiful DIY Christmas trees for housing. I didn't. I was like, it's gonna be Wintervale. They're gonna give us one, right? Blizzard would never release Wintervale directly after Housing Early Access and not give us... I guess I'm putting too much stake in early access. But I really thought they were going to give us some holiday decor. Once I get 2 minutes, anything worth continuing to grind the rares. You get, you'll get catch-up gear from it, and you'll get the badges from it. So it can help you save up a little faster to get all the rest of the stuff off the vendor. Main things to try and get off the vendor is the pets, mount, and toy. Decor is great too, but I'm going to do the pets, mount, and toy first because the decor will be available again later, but the pets, mount, and toy are exclusive to this time period now. Bringing all my starter accounts this year for Love Rocket. I'm a simple girl. I'm a once per day per account. What about the mustard gear? Did I say ketchup gear? Have I told you that when I'm making macaroni and cheese with a homemade sauce, and I'm adding I do a little dry mustard in the sauce to spice it up, but I also add a little bit of fresh prepared mustard, and I do a whole grain beer mustard. And after I've put a little bit in the sauce and gotten a clean spoon, I will take a little bit extra from the jar, and I'll just eat it. I like the way the seeds pop. It's like Pop Rocks except mustard. It's delicious. It's really good. I love fancy mustard. Heard of people adding mayo to mac and cheese. People are always putting mayo where it doesn't belong, and I'm not here to tell them how to live their lives. But I won't forgive them for the grilled cheese thing. I once was bullied by swarms of internet into trying to make a grilled cheese with mayo on the outside of the bread. And maybe it's user error, but I made my grilled cheese. I put a little layer of mayo on the outside of the bread, but the bread was kind of like an open crumb. and the mayo pooled in the pockets and then boiled on the pan, and then you had a grilled cheese with like globs of hot mayo. It was vile. It was a war crime. I'm not over it. Remember that trend. I'm sure it's tasty if done correctly. I'm sure I didn't do it correctly. Grilled cheese is fine the normal way. There's nothing wrong with grilled cheese the normal way. If I want to get a little fancy, I can do a little olive oil and some herbs on the outside. That's nice. That makes like a very crisp crust. But also, people are always putting mayo where it doesn't belong. Okay, we're going back. Doing archaeology myself because I hate myself and I need the Skittles decor. Gasped in horror. Yeah, it didn't work out very well. I will allow it was probably user error, but I don't care. I'm not over it regardless. Canadian taught me how good mayo is with French fries. My reason I keep mayo around is to make sauce to put on like sandwiches and burger adjacent stuff. And what it is it's basically like a DIY, I don't know, like a lazy woman's aioli. You've got your mayo, you press a clove of fresh garlic in there, you do a dash of lemon juice. I just have the cheap stuff from the bottle that looks like a lemon because I can't be bothered to buy lemons, they're expensive. And then salt and pepper. And I will put that on like a veggie burger. I will put that on like a sandwich. I put it on my sweet potato sandwich because nothing goes with starch, like nothing goes with carbs like carbs. And it's good. You can also dip fries in it. It's basically aioli. I guess I also use mayo to make spicy mayo for spicy tuna. And that's about it. That's about the start and end of it. Also, I am circling the wrong butterfly over here. Hill I will die on is that you should learn how to make mayo. They don't, like, wring it out of, like, the mayo goat. It's not a direct from animal product. I'm, like, mostly joking. Better than store-bought if you have an immersion blender. I do have an immersion blender. I feel like it would cost me, like, $50, though. To buy that much, like, eggs and whatever else you use. Oil? I don't know. What are the ingredients? No? I'm in Canada! I'm on a Canadian island. Food spendy here. Mustard mayo, great dip sauce for chips. My mom wants me to make yogurt. And I don't know if I have the heart to tell her that I don't really eat yogurt. Egg, garlic, spicy mustard, which I do love, salt, oil. Okay, I can budget one egg. I will allow for this. Grew up in the US South and thought people would use mayo in cereal if pushed. There's nothing sadder than like a piece of formerly crispy greens that has been so bogged down by mayo that it can't breathe anymore. Fields of Eternal Hunt. We are almost done, I swear. Once you make homemade mayo, you'll never want store-bought. Maybe? I haven't felt let down by my store-bought mayo, though. By the time I've mixed it with garlic and lemon juice and salt and pepper, I'm usually having a good time. Oh, that's pretty. I'll allow this. I might try this one day. I have garlic. I was turning my compost and I realized that some garlic that I had composted had started to sprout in the compost tumbler. So I rescued some of it and just like stuck it in the ground even though it's freezing. I figure if it wants to grow in the dark rotting place, I can at least give it some fresh air. Don't know what you're missing. It might be because I don't know what I'm missing. Is ignorance not bliss though? Make you want to use mayo in more ways? Maybe. We're lucky if I'm motivated to make a meal lately. I did do the mac and cheese the other night, but I am batting less than average on making dinner lately. Option C, never gonna make it, never gonna buy it. Keep winning, mustard over mayo. Take that homemade mayo, add ketchup and pickle juice and cayenne, and that's the best burger sauce. That's a Derpski's guarantee. All right. Here, I'm screenshotting this so I have a record of it because I'm never going to remember that. You're getting snipped. You're getting snipped, bud. What? I have a collection of really random chat messages screenshot on my computer. Mayo hater. I was a mayo hater for years. When I was a kid, I was both a mayo hater and a sour cream hater. Bark sauce. I have grown up to appreciate sour cream. It's dark out here. What do you want me to do? Locate legendary animal spirits, put them to rest. Okay, where are they? You're not going to tell me? Eat your fill, depart the table, enter the wilderness. Did I eat? I'm hungry. I don't know. This way. Also hated sour cream, but now I love it. I find it's a really easy way to add calories to like a soup or a curry or a like a vegetarian chili. I will just like add a dollop of sour cream to all kinds of different like soup and stew based meals just to get some extra fat and like body in there. Food of the gods. Easy eggs. 1 egg, tablespoon of mayo, mixed well. Oh, I don't have a microwave. Also, what is it supposed to... What are we doing by microwaving eggs? I feel like that's not for me. Spicy food. Spice scares me. I want to make pickles one day. The problem is I don't like eating pickles that much. I have this fascination with making food that I don't want. I want to grow peppers that are too hot to eat, and I want to make pickles that I don't like to have. I should make things that I do want, but I don't know. It's not my fault. Yams are hard to grow in this climate. It takes extra steps. I think we're getting here. Sour cream in the bowl for Hungarian mushroom soup. Quick pickle red onions all the time. I've been meaning to quick pickle just like carrots and maybe some daikon or something to do kind of like a you know, like a slapdash version of a banh mi. That's something I can't really get out here in the bush. But I feel like it would be not that hard to put together. At least the quick pickled stuff. The brined tofu is beyond me, but also I'm in the wrong spot. You guys are making me want an IRL food buff. I know, it's a little early for us to be starting to talk about food. Easy, I believe in you. Yeah. I can afford vinegar. Can give you that. Here's a food thing, before I get back off of food. I have, and have acquired on sale, several bags of frozen, savory, vegetarian pierogies. We've got like some potato and onion. We've got some potato and cheese. What is your favorite and preferred way to prepare such a thing? Are we putting them as like dumplings in soups? Are we steaming them? Are we pan frying them? I've pan fried them before. If I cook them in too much oil though, they make my tummy hurt. Boil, throw pesto on it. My dinner's in the oven. Yeah, normally this waits until like 11 o'clock. Oh, there it is. I'm a terrible hunter. I'm not doing good at this. I still need to find the worm in this stack. Apparently, if you take away my map markers, I am not useful. You look lost. I am. It's okay. If I do enough laps, we'll figure it out. Am I supposed to, like, flare anything? Are there tracks? No? Okay. Never had pierogies. Interested? Good in soup. Boil, fry in butter, also fried onion in. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh. It's basically the official dish of the city. Trust me when I say you pan fry them with onions and butter. It's all you need. Coden's a jerk anyway. Yeah. Pan fry them with onions. Do I boil them first or do I just pan fry from frozen? They're frozen right now. They're in my big freezer. The bag is just watching me every time I open it to get like an ice cube. Alright, we need the stag still. Boil them first. Okay. Did the Mind Seeker secret feel like you have the amount required to do it? Cool title. Feat of Strength. I don't know if I do. I never finished the original Secrets of Azeroth. But I've done some things like Una and Baal. Bacon with a bit of butter. Back from a week in Poland. So many good ways to eat pierogi. If you have the mounts, you can likely get to the newer place. I don't think I have all the mounts, though. I don't think I ever got patty. I think I am pattyless. Speaking of burgers. I have no patty. I never did it. I am less accomplished than you think. I don't know if I've... 17 is so many secrets, man. 17. This is unreasonable. I don't think it's for me. I don't care about feats of strength, and I'm not that fussed about titles. Alright, Hawkspirit. Oh my gosh, there's more. Okay, hang on. This one's leaving. And then the wolf spirit. A lot of pets counted. Just did it. Needed to get the cat from Kara. Murloc from Northrend. I do have a bunch of those. I might meet the requirements. I just don't really want it that badly. I don't feel very motivated. Next is how I make gold. Farm the armor pieces. Sell them for like 150k. Nice. You think the wolf spirit's over here, maybe? I feel like I've been over here, but there's new spirits now. Yeah, there we go. I guess I just don't know how you get yourself interested in that kind of thing. I feel like I'm losing the core motivation for some of it. You know, when you had like 20 or 30 titles, getting another one felt like a big deal, but at a certain point, what is this for? I'm never gonna wear it. If I wanted something along the veins of Mindseeker, we have a couple of good insane ones. I have the Insane. We also have the one from we have the Mad. That's a really good one. Also, I never even see my own name. You can take a character, set the hearth, Warbound. You can see what you have, what you don't have. I've arrived with a Kiwi Whale plushie. Cool, cooling belly material. Only $8. Why is it so dark? Congrats on your new plushie. I still have to remind myself that I don't need them when I walk by like plushie stands in the grocery store. Can you say the same thing about mounts? I mean, yeah, kind of. It's getting a little harder to want more of them. Meaning to start that one, trying to collect everything I need first before I start. Hazel, if you don't need them, why are they for sale? I don't know, you've lost me. That sounds philosophical. My favorite is the Beloved. I like the Beloved. I also love the Patient. It's not hard to get, but it's like a classic. It's been around for a long time. I did do all the Twilight Rares for pre-patch event. That I got done. Wait. Uh-oh. I didn't need to get the mount. I have the mount. I may have done some things that were not necessary. Oh, I did get the Legion Fall thing. Yeah, I definitely did more than I needed to. Okay. That's fine. Now we double have them out. Alright, let's go start that research. And we can be done with this. I saw that Wolfhawk take off and I'm like, I must have done that before because I have them out, but I did not remember ever having done that. Alright, 24 hours and then we have our final piece. 24 hours and we will have the last piece of decor from Class Halls. The spreadsheet shall be complete. The prophecy shall come to fruition. I'm doing Darkmoon Fair Professions. Oh, he looks so cool! I love chickens. I love chickens. I need a friend with chickens to visit. I want to play with some chickens. I want to pet some chickens. They're lovely. They're really friendly. They can be anyway. They're well socialized. I want to make friends with chickens. I really want to make friends with a cow, but that doesn't seem like it's likely, so I'm trying to keep my dreams in check. You ever see YouTube videos of people with like Highland cows that are just acting like puppies? I could have chickens in the backyard. I would need to install some electric fencing to keep them safe from bears. We have some serious wildlife around here, and chickens are basically like putting a buffet out in your lawn. Care more about decor than mounts? Kind of. Decor is just sort of like the hot new thing. And also, I feel like even though I have lots of mounts, I'm never going to have all the mounts. And eventually, I think I'll reach that point with decor, but I feel like there's just only so much bandwidth. Like, there's only so many things you can kind of stay plugged into at a time. Weirdly, in Seattle, a lot of people have chicken coops. Never saw that before I moved here. It's, I grew up with chickens. I grew up with backyard chickens. Although it was like not a commercial operation of chickens, but it was a lot of chickens for backyard chickens. We had a big property, and we had like not quite 24 chickens, but over a dozen. It was mucking out the coop was like a real Saturday problem. But yeah, I like chickens. They're so cute when they're babies. Electric fence for bears. How do you keep them safe from twigs? Why? Because they enjoy the electric fence. I need my profession thing. My chickens. Bring all the party people to my yard. Worry Archer and Leia would accidentally kill one. Growing up, we had a mixed breed dog that was much like my dog, kind of like a German Shepherd Husky cross situation. And she was never allowed in the same place as the chickens. She was always fenced from the chickens because she was not a livestock guardian dog and she had a big old prey drive. It's entirely possible they would, but lots of people do it anyway. They just have fences. It's hard to do if you live in kind of a dense place, though. There's a lot of bylaws, and you have to make sure that they're not, like, attracting mice and rats to upset your neighbors, or, like, noise or smell. It's, like, the whole thing. Great if you're gardening, though, and if you want compost. I am looking for the leatherworking people. It's not you. I don't think it's you either. I'll go look, though. Dances, thank you for the 15-month resub. Hi, Hazel. Hi. Miss getting the eggs every day. Fresh farm eggs are amazing. It was a lot of work, but I feel like it wouldn't be as much work with just like 5 or 6 chickens and not like 20. This is skinning. I don't really need to do that. Where is leatherworking? I'm not used to doing the leatherworking one. Stop with Saturday news again? Yeah, I suppose so. Rumor has it anyway. I picked it back up again, but I got sick. I got COVID. And I was down for like a month, and I just lost all my momentum. It's wind right out of the sails. I'm better now, but I'm still not doing it again. Like watching this TikToks, the guys are trying to figure out where the hens are laying eggs this week, and they find them in a crevasse covered in cobwebs. Oh, man. Some hens get really broody about their eggs and do not want to move off of them to let you collect them. Love when a baby animal's raised around another species and grows up with their traits. Around the corner of fishing and cooking. Oh, okay. I know where that is. News was nice, though. Thanks. I would like to do more YouTube, but I know better than to make promises that I'm probably not going to keep. Yeah, Darkmoon hasn't changed much. Around the corner. Is that not where I just was? I was just here. That was fishing and cooking. This is around the corner. This is skinning. I need leatherworking. I guess I'll do the skinning one. Major Tusk, thank you for the 18-month resub. So many items in the trading post. Glad they finally brought that pets I missed. Nice. I haven't gone and looked at the actual vendor yet. I wonder if I'm going to have a big shopping month or not. It's at the stall that you target shoot at. Ooh, okay. We can do that. Yeah, I do all my own editing. I am a one-woman show. In my, 12 or 13 year career, I've worked with an editor once for maybe 2 weeks. And that wasn't for news. That was for something else. That was doing edited like stream highlights. Same. Yeah, and it's tough because, like, on one hand, burnout, which I think might be what happened to me. I think I encountered some burnout like 6 years ago, and I still haven't figured out how to, like, it's not that I'm still burnt, I'm scared of it now. Or the other thing is that, like, if you do expand and you involve more people, there's this feeling of more responsibility. And also, you start to lose a little bit of control over some things, or you have to burn yourself out anyways to maintain the same level of control. Whether my ship is sinking or floating, I like the idea that it's doing so by me. I don't want to have to do things like take on sponsors that I'm not comfortable with or make content that I don't feel good about just because I need to make payroll, right? So like right now I can not make any content and I can pay myself very little, and the only person I'm really hurting is me and I guess my husband, my dog, my cat. But they're fed. They're okay. Shooting booth this way. I'm not saying these are the correct choices. These are just the choices my own neuroses have led me to make. You work with what you got. You have a like another job, right? Like you've talked about like taking meetings and stuff. Are those like related to content, or is that's another thing, right? This is Eyes on the Prizes. Oh, okay. Coarse thread, shiny baubles, blue dye. Yeah, I can just get these in the auctionist. Do work in marketing. Gotcha. Part of me, and I think this is really, really silly of me and probably not very well grounded, but part of me is a tiny bit jealous. Just because I feel like I'm too spoiled to get a real job, especially if I can get away with doing this. But it's been so long since I've worked with other people. I kind of miss having like a structured environment with other people involved in it in which to perform. Doing things completely by myself has really like killed my inner diva that wants to show people up and like do extra to show off. Like I was insufferable in school at academics because I wasn't great at making friends, but I knew I could study. And it's like, it's been fun to do that in workplace environments, but I haven't had one in over a decade. Aside from this, and it's hard to get that same kind of fire if you don't have people that can witness you. You know, like, and I know you guys witness me, but it's not the same. What am I doing? I am buying shiny baubles, if that's even a thing. Must be. Coarse thread for sure. We need five coarse thread. Own my business, work from home, just me and my laptop. Oh. Trying to make the transition full-time content creation. Gotcha. Return later interns. My cat is my manager. Oh, Elon CS, thanks for the raid. Welcome, raiders. I think I bought too much of this. That's fine. Alright. Not your thing. Always enjoyed the length and depth of your videos, just right for me. I appreciate that. Welcome, raid people. I've always been really curious. Maybe I'll pick your brain off stream sometime about how the mechanics of income from content creation work when it's less long form based. Like I know how streaming works and I know how long form YouTube works. I've been doing that forever, but like I've never made a piece of short content that paid me more than like $1. I don't know how people live on that. I guess it's sponsorships. I don't know. Let's get 10 of these. And then let's get some blue dye as well. It's tough because that's the direction that a lot of the audience is going. Short answer is it doesn't. Gotcha. Upcoming generation kiddos is big on the short stuff. It's tough. I feel like you get a lot more exposure, but if you're not good at using that to leverage into something that does pay you, you're gonna just end up super famous with no money. 455k followers on Instagram and I make $0 a month. Yeah. YouTube is the only platform that pays properly. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I've ascertained. There's companies trying to find ways to monetize shorts and to like pay out creators, but usually it's just kind of like creator funds that are just short-term programs that don't go very far. I think all the money's in sponsors. Or like merch, if you're able to do that, or like launch your own whatever it is. But not everybody wants to start like a product, you know? Not everybody wants to sell like a coffee or a hot sauce or a... What else do people sell? Something. Don't need audible Twitter, I like the longer stuff. There we go. There we go. I finally did it. I have my 80s skill in leatherworking. Let's go back to Donegal. I feel that took me almost as long as getting my hunter mount again. Bath water. Coffee mugs. Yeah. Some people that are established only on shorts though have a harder time translating that into views on long form content. Yeah, people sell. Do people still sell NFTs? I feel like that scam's over. I feel like there's new scams. We don't have enough food sponsors, the only way to do it. Gotcha. Rat Cult, thank you for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. Well, if you ever want to talk about mechanics of it, I'll get you on Discord or something. I love talking shop, and I do it with almost nobody because I don't network very much. Okay. I'm leatherworking. Everything's kind of a scam if you think about it too hard. Yeah. I know, that's my problem is I think about it too hard. I get real, like, cynical and nihilistic, and then I start falling into the nothing matters, and it's hard to tell if it's capitalism or just depression. And then I go, no, none of us should be doing any of this, and I should just log off and wait for death. Which is not really great from, like, a Zen perspective or a Prophet perspective. You know, it doesn't really help anybody except for, like, the dark gods. I'm leatherworking, that's what I'm doing. Both, probably. Two things can be true. Whenever I feel sad about my job, I always say at least I'm not stuck in a pyramid scheme. Yeah. At least I'm not being pressured to do anything I'm not comfortable to do. That's kind of my saving grace. There's nobody in my life that is going to put pressure on me to say something that I don't believe in or to sell something that I don't want to sell. And I am allowed to give myself a pay cut for not doing those things or engaging in practices that don't feel good to me. I'm not like a publicly traded company that has shareholders that say, you have to start getting the kids to gamble legally, right? Like, that sucks. We don't love that. We're gonna do decor. That's what we're gonna do. I have been waiting to make this zebra striped rug for a long time. We're gonna need a little bit more lumber. Let's do the couch first, actually. We're gonna need more lumber, but we can make one of these things now. Hate my job with every fiber of my soul. I hate my boss, my coworkers, my office, my chair. But at least I'm not unemployed, still get paid. Have fun on the weekends. Having a job and a roof over your head is hard to argue with. Give you a thank you for giving a space peaceful and quiet from the noise. It's important to be aware of what's happening. You can give me a quiet, calm place to relax from it all. It stresses me out too, and I don't even live there anymore. I'm not even from there. But it's hard to not worry about it. I don't know how you guys cope. You're managing, more or less. We're gonna do some moss wool thread. We're gonna get 10 of those. And 6 carapace back ties. Every time I think it's quitting time, remind myself how stressful unemployment is. Hating your job does surprising damage. So does homelessness, though. There's compromises. I know I'm not one to... I have no ability to speak in this conversation. This one's between you guys. I am giga spoiled. Number go up helps, yeah. I'm making a couch. That's what I'm doing. One couch for me. It's well lit. Da, 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 da. Do you think I can handle replacing a light switch without calling an electrician? I think I can. But I think I can do a lot of things, and sometimes I can't. I should do the outlets first. I've got some outlets that need replacing, and I've got the replacements. I should do that first. I know how to do that. Very easy. Okay, because I think that might be why one of my light fixtures is not working anymore. And I want to replace the light fixture, but I figure that maybe troubleshooting the switch first is probably a better place to start than ripping the whole thing out. Very YouTube videoable. I do know how to shut off the breaker. Alright. Okay. If I get shocked and die, I'm holding all of you guys, or my widow is going to hold all of you guys legally responsible. You told me I could do this. You're going to have to answer to Moose. We need lumber. That's what we need. Step 1, don't get electrocuted. Double check it's off. Yeah, I have a multimeter. I have voltage detectors. I also know I know the breaker panel pretty well. What if you get shocked and don't die? Well, then it'll be much easier for me to yell at you about it. Light switches, outlets, thermostat, ceiling lights, not hard. I'm dying to, and I'm not budgeting for it yet, but I'm dying to replace some of the light fixtures and some of the water fixtures. Faucets and lamps, I feel like, will make me feel much more like this place is me, you know? You can skip coffee that day. Make sure you connect them correctly. Uh-huh. I have an electrician brother to stare at him until he shows up. How much lumber do I need? I guess I need a lot of it, because after I finish making the leatherworking stuff, I'm gonna need more for... I'm gonna need more lumber for the blacksmithing stuff. Yeah, shit, kill me. It'll be off. It'll be off. The trick is just to get it hooked up again correctly, so when you reconnect the power and you turn it on, you're not starting fires. I haven't done the training post yet. It's on my list for today, though. I'm getting caught up on a couple of decor loose ends because Darkmoon Fair is up, which is a great source of profession knowledge points if you're leveling up a profession and you just need like a couple more. New faucet, priceless, makes you wonder why it wasn't done sooner. I've just been putting it off because I know that if I replace the faucets, I'm also probably going to replace the water lines. They're old and plastic, and I feel like the second I move them, they are going to, you know, crumple into dust. So I need to get some braided water lines, and that's not going to be hard either, but like it's going to be one of those things where one thing leads to another thing. So I just need to make sure it's on like a good day where I have, I don't know, that good coffee. 150 lumber each profession per expansion. Yeah, this is Farm HUD. I don't know why it's bigger in my druid. I've never figured that out. This druid, for some reason, has a huge Farm HUD. Plan it out, you'll be good to go. Yeah, I think when I remove some stuff, there's going to be some other stuff needs doing too, but that doesn't mean I can't do it, and that stuff needs replacing also. Some of it's in weird, hard to get to corners, like it's constructed strangely. There's not a lot of room to maneuver around, but I think that's what basin wrenches are for. Would be the most profoundly unpleasant third of a second of your life. Maybe. I don't know, man. Maybe. I've had IUDs in and out. I don't think anything tops that. You ever find new decor just show up in your inventory? Don't remember getting this or seeing it before. Sometimes I find decor in my inventory, but it's usually something that dropped from like a dungeon. Something that's dropped from a dungeon or like a raid that I did, and I wasn't in there for the decor, so I kind of forgot that it was going to drop. Yeah, those aren't as painful for everybody, and I've heard that sometimes you'll have better experiences than others. Next time I do it, I'm loading up on ibuprofen. Chat, should I tear my house down and start over when midnight launches? I know that you are most likely talking about your World of Warcraft house, and I say yes, you should. I think you'll have fun redesigning it. I think if you're feeling the itch, you should totally do it. But the possibility that you're talking about your actual house is just so funny to me. Midnight's coming out. This place has got to come down. Wow, I spent so many hours decorating. I would take like some screenshots or some video of the way you had it. The only thing that you're not going to lose anything, because the time that you spent decorating is still valid. It still counts. You still learned from it. You're not losing any gold. You're not sacrificing really anything but time. And like I said, that time wasn't wasted. It was time spent learning. If you're feeling the itch, I think you should do it. Can't wait for the input, output, copy, paste thing for housing. Keep deleting stuff. Fonda Hanner, thank you for the 28-month resub. Appreciate it. Need a new bathroom for midnight launch. One of the YouTube shorts that came across my feed was somebody making a bathroom vanity, and it was stunning. They had soap that was just like the top of a beam, but it looked like a bar of soap in a dish. Can anyone else believe Midnight is launching this month if you have early access? No! I'm not ready! Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. After watching the Blizz housing short, I want a crown to boil my tea on. Showcase some houses. Contest to be so flattered. Need new content. Have a week off work. I could see doing like random showcases. Organizing a contest is beyond me. I also don't. I am a giant teddy bear. I don't want to make anybody into a loser. And if you're gonna make somebody into a winner, people are gonna be losers. None of the houses are losers. How many shards will we be at when midnight comes out? It's looking like 7. barring divine intervention, it's looking like 7. Trying to level tailoring on my alt so I can make some decor. Got her to level 80 yesterday. Leveling tailoring is slow. Okay, with everyone getting a trophy. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable judging something like housing that's so subjective. Wonder if they have a panda pajama onesie set transmog. Not yet. They have, there's a Yeti suit that I think was part of a BlizzCon. Everyone gets first place. What else? Well, it wouldn't be a contest. It would just be, like, tours, you know? Although you could still have losers in that if I'm just picking tours randomly out of chat, somebody could be upset if I just repeatedly miss them. I'm not going to BlizzCon. I am not. I will be watching BlizzCon from home. Here. Okay, I think I have enough Flumber to be getting on with for, like, the moment anyway. If you went, you'd be a celebrity. I've been a couple times. It is fun. I do feel famous there. But I just bought a house this year. I'm saving my extra money. I'm not real keen on traveling internationally and crossing that border. And I don't want to leave my puppy dog. He's fine, but I miss him. I miss my puppy and my kitty if I don't get to see him every day. Seen streamers do that in ARC. Visit folks in their servers, showcase their build. I'm so irritated that to craft some alchemy decor my main required mats I have to use my bank, but I'd sold it to free up bank slots. The pain. Yeah, I may go to another BlizzCon again one day, but it's not going to be this year. Farmhood. That add-on is called Farmhood. Just bring the dog. Moose on an airplane would be something. Must have missed the house buying stream. Congrats. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I didn't do it on stream. That's probably why. Live stream with my realtor. Oh my gosh, my realtor was amazing. I know hating on realtors is kind of like a trend right now, but they can't make me hate her. Oh my god, she worked so hard. She did so much for us. And like especially like as a buyer, you're not like, yes, it kind of comes out of like the price of the house, but it's I would have been so lost without her. Okay. She was hauling like extendable ladders out of her car to help us like get up and see attics and stuff. My realtor earned his keep for sure. Planning a day with 10 showings and schedulings, never mind everything else he did, right? She was able to get us into showings on such short notice. Like, we would be touring a house and she would be like, you know what? It hasn't hit the listings yet, but I've heard there's a house down the street that's in your range that's about to go on the market. And I bet you I can call a guy and get you in like half an hour. And I'm like, what? And she did. Like, we were able to see a lot of houses that were like either not available yet or like had just become available on like super short notice just because we'd already traveled to whatever the community was to like see stuff. She was a magician. Well, broke last week right before we got snow and ice. No water. Backup plan. Yeah, it's an important thing to think about. I think the thing with realtors is just there's great realtors and then there's probably realtors that are not as great, and you just have to really do some legwork to try to find one that you're happy with. All right, 61. I know I'm gonna need more, but we'll do this for now. Let's head back. Sorry to hear about your well. We had a well when I was a kid, and it meant that because the well was downhill from our house and there was a pump that pumped the water up the hill, anytime the power went out, you wouldn't have water. You wouldn't have any running water, so you had to kind of like stuff. It was hard if you had, like, sometimes the power would be out, but school would still be on because, like, the school still had power, so you had to try to go to school without showers, and that always sucked. I'm going to the bank, that's right. My parents' realtor in the 80s was so bad, they still talk about him these days. Yeah, there's definitely horror stories, but... We're gonna pop this in. Any extra lumber? That was all of it? Good. Early housing buff from Blizzard in honor of Midnight? What do you mean? Here, let me pull up headlines. Let's go make the second, the last leatherworking item. Pre-patch currency transfer re-enabled. Catalyze Warbound pre-patch gear. Oh, in response to you getting to see houses so early. Why can't I start the trial of 7? You talk to the guy? Anxiety fighting bedhead, smelly kid at school. I could never get my hair to sort itself out. Until I hit high school and got a straightening iron, it was just chaos. He won't talk to me. Ooh, that's annoying. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Chad has ideas. Yellow. Yeah, it might be just a bug. Alright. We made the couch. We need the zebra skin rug. That's right. That's zebra stripe rug. That is the last piece of leatherworking decor. 10 of these. 2 spore-coated hides. Nice. So I guess this guy's gonna stick around because he is my leatherworker, so I'm gonna have to level him in Midnight so that he can, I'm gonna have to level him at Midnight so that he can learn Midnight leatherworking. Haven't leveled it yet, can't even think about it. Leatherworking wasn't too bad. It wasn't as expensive as blacksmithing or jewel crafting. Oh, feels so good to have them done. Leatherworking, 24. Let's go do blacksmithing. How many alts? Oh, I knew, but I forgot. Hang on. I won't count any level 10s. 2, 4, 6, 8... 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 33. That's right, because it's how many years I am. I have currently the same amount of level 80 alts as my age, which is 33. Oh, their transmog's rough. Okay. We're doing snow crab. That's the one. Nice. Yeah, blacksmithing. Yeah, I ran into that 30k cauldron. I guess you were here. Refused to pay auction house prices for Black Lotus. I felt better about paying auction house prices for Black Lotus after having spent 30,000 gold to get a rot-resistant cauldron to make the Veldraken Hanging Cauldron. Me too. But I'm 52. It's lots of volts. In Undermine, there's a leopard skin rug too, and I want that as a decor item. Oh, man. Leopard skin. Okay, so we're doing Darkmoon Faire. That's what we're doing. Camp the spawn point? Yeah, pretty much. You can also herb in a zone to try to force spawns of it, but then you have to get lucky enough to find the herb that you forced a spawn of before somebody else does. I just bought them. It was like 23k worth of Lotus. I just sucked it up and did it. They've come down a tiny bit, I think. I paid about 4,200 gold each. Darkmoon Faire. I can now choose a new blacksmithing specialization. Had some in my bank that I sold at the beginning of War Within. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, there was no way to know back then that this is what was going to happen. I'm so excited. I'm going to get the last things. How much lumber am I going to need anyway? Blacksmithing. Hang on. So 45. We're going to need 45 lumber to make this chest and then this rusting bolted bench. One of each. Hopefully I can find this quest faster than I found the leatherworking one. That was sad. In advance, I'll ask, does anybody know or can point me to where the blacksmithing Darkmoon Faire quest is? Can't remember back in the day where they spawned. Used to pick herbs when I was out questing and accumulated them. I think they share, it's like a rare shared spawn, so if you're herbing, you'll find some. With the blacksmith. By the zoo near the animal pens, near the fishing pier. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Save me about 20 minutes. Hi. You want back up? She's gotten used to me scooping her. Whoa, 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 whoa. How, baby girl? How are you doing? How you doing? Is that a good spot? Where is the world? People and players. Solo game? Yes, no one plays, and that's why there's no one here talking about it. Anvil and Darkmoon Faire well by the transmog vendors. Gotcha. I can summon an anvil. I don't think I'm worried about that. Use the iron stock to craft horseshoes and apply them to baby. Okay. Did they give me the... Oh, kitty, you good? You tripped? Land on her feet. Is that it? You done? I have the iron stock? Yep. Okay. So let's just summon an anvil. Also, I have a pet that works as an anvil, too. Da-da-da. Mana WoW tokens I've bought to get housing decor. Hi, Big Zoppy. I'm doing good. How are you? Put new horseshoes on, baby. Oh, this is nice and easy. 4 horseshoes. Gotcha. Here, I need it to look like she's forging something. There you go. Alvin the Anvil. Alvin the Anvil will also work. If you just search Anvil, it should pull up Alvin over here. He's a blacksmithing crafted pet, but he functions as a functional anvil as well if you're not a light forged. Thanks. It's 2 blacksmithing skill. I knew it. No. Oh man, I am 79 out of 80. I didn't need to do this. All right, hang on. I'm taking a walk. Okay, yeah, we'll check work orders, but I don't know. It's going to be kind of rough. Work orders usually give knowledge points, not skill ups, unless it's something that I would... Unless they specifically work order, like the Vambraces. Oh, you know what, actually? I can do an ignition. There's charges of them available now. Okay, whew. Crisis averted. Let's go back to Dornical. Convinced there's a neckbeard working at Blizzard who thinks we never should have had flying mounts and Darkmoon Faire prof quests were OP. Yeah, it used to be 5. 3 would have been fine. I was operating on the assumption of 3, but I forgot about ignitions. We can just make one of those. It's fine. What I wanted to avoid was having to make another armor piece and having to basically farm myself another spark because I'm guildless and on a random server. I'm going to get myself materials for this. Literally just 2 crystalline powder here. All right. Everything's okay. I don't know why they don't just let us fly at Darkmoon Faire. Like, it looks fine from the sky. We fly there during, like, the wing quest. I feel like they could just give us a break. I feel like you could throw us a bone and just turn it on. You know, make a little cute unlock quest if you feel like you really have to. It's something. I guess maybe they want to preserve places where you can, I don't know, enjoy your ground mounts or something, but let me use them indoors and we'll be cool. Alright, I need a forge. Is this not a forge? It looks like a massive forge. This is a forge. This is a forge. This whole place is a forge. No? Yeah, I just was by the blacksmithing bench. I could have sworn this whole place is a big forge. This is the blacksmithing bench. Maybe the window's bugged. The window's bugged. Okay, that's the answer. The whole place is a big forge. I figured. There we go. When in doubt, turn off and back on again. All right, now we're at 80. We needed to be back at the trainer anyway, because we got to learn these guys. Yes. The final pieces of profession decor. Oh, I'm 5 short. Okay. Let's go. We'll make the storage chest. And then I'll go get like 5 pieces of lumber. I need one of these. Core alloy? Just 2 of those. Core forge skeleton key. I'm so excited. Must be close enough to an anvil. Alright, so there's our shredder wheel storage chest. And now I need just this guy, so we just need literally just 5 more. Here, I'll buy the bolts ahead of time so we can just make it in the field after we find our 5 pieces of lumber. I need 5 core alloy, 4 bolts. At least the mats are nice and cheap. I was a little worried about that after all the gold we spent to like get this thing leveled. Alright, let's go get 5 lumber. I'm pretty sure I have, yeah, I have lumber tracking. It's not going to be as efficient as doing it on a, on a druid, but I just need 5. I don't want to log over. 5. This is going to be so satisfying. I feel like it's going to give me a big extra kick to get decor from other sources. Like having professions done, I feel like is really nice. 2. Yeah, this beautiful zone music out here. This whole expansion had a great soundtrack. Shadowlands was better? It's funny, I have the Shadowlands soundtrack in my audio files, and sometimes I use it for a video. And I have a hard time finding music that's not like super like grim and intense, because there is some like, I don't know, lighthearted and low-key Shadowlands music, but a lot of it is like very gloomy strings. The mop and the WoD soundtracks are up there for me. Hello, buddy. How are ya? You coming to visit for 30 seconds? Hang on, let me see if I can... Hi, bud. Fix my monitor. I had to move it. I know, I used to have a webcam set up. Also, this isn't right. I used to have a webcam set up so I could put it on the pet bed for when they're sleeping in my office, but he's only sleeping in here for, I don't know. Why are you in here? He's not gonna stay. He's gonna be out of here within like... He'll be out of here soon. Grizzly Hills will always be my top choice. I'm a good boy. He was hanging out with me in the yard while I was weeding in the garden, And he started out just kind of like romping around and playing, and then he realized I was doing something, and then he just stood right behind me, staring over my shoulder the entire time I was weeding, trying to figure out what I was doing. And then he realized that sometimes I would turn up a worm, and then I had to save the worms for my dog because he wants to attack and carry and eat the worms. So sometimes he would catch sight of one, and then he would pounce on it with his front paws and start digging, and then there would be 2 worms. So I was trying to like covertly rescue and replace any worms that I unearthed while I was weeding to save them from my maniac. They're good wormies. They're doing good work down there. Weak Auras is not working anymore. Weak Auras is the main casualty of Blizzard's add-on changes going into Midnight. There will no longer... That's one that I think we're leaving behind. Yeah. Okay, I think I got the lumber I needed. Let's pull out Alvin the Anvil and make our rusting bolted bench. Dunk. Dunk. Yes. Yes! Look at this. Look at this beautiful, clean, complete page of profession decor. I have it all. Yeah, even the Weak Auras that track out of combat stuff. My understanding is that the Weak Auras team just decided to retire the add-on. They could have kept it going and reworked it, but they decided not to take that on, which is up to them. I'll be there someday. Congrats. Thank you. Cost a lot of gold, but I still have more gold than I started with because of what we sold. Yeah, even the one with the 30k gold ingredient. 2 with 30k gold ingredients. 1 in blacksmithing, 1 in alchemy. Lovely. Drops? Apparently. Ooh, I need another thing from... Wait, what? Ooh, okay. I needed a trading post. I'm getting too sidetracked. It's almost 11 o'clock. I have to do trading post today. But there's more decor we can get. Yeah, now you can finally play the game. Take her back to Dornegal. No more profession decor. I mean, at least until midnight, and there's going to be midnight professions, and if they ever go back and add more stuff. They already went back and tacked some stuff on alchemy, but they're leveled now. So even if they go back and add more items to professions, not all of them are leveled, actually. A few of them I bypassed by buying stuff, but most of it. It is February already, I know. I'm not okay with it. Alright. Trading post time. Let's do some easy stuff. She has urban mining. Let's do gathering quests for credit. I want March to be here, please. Oh, I'm looking forward to spring. Spring weather sounds nice. May or may not be taking down my Christmas stuff today. Lots of February to go. It's such a short month, though. The lack of, like, the 29th and 30th and 31st. I know not every month gets a 31st. I know sometimes February gets a 29th, so just let me be. But, like, it's... I don't know. It pranks me. I don't like that it's shorter than the rest of them. I had to take my tender purse, just so much stuff. Let's pick up the mining one. Well, do I not have the skill to do the quest here? This is the month Midnight releases with early access. Yeah. I think that's going to be functionally our main release date, like it was last time. Easiest way to do this. Maybe... Oh. 23. I think at 25, I'll get the, at 25, I think I get the... Here, we'll stop tracking lumber for the moment. I can do herbs and minerals. I could just pick another character to do this, but... Because I'm used to the mega breaks at the end. They have found some real smooth ways to fill in all those gaps. They never leave us without something to do anymore. It's almost a little exhausting, but I can't sit here and complain that they've made too much game. Listen to metal renditions of Daughter of the Sea and it slams. What day can we access it? I would just double check the Blizzard source on it. I'm pretty sure it's the 27th, but I'm not. Don't schedule your vacations based on me. Housing didn't drop. Wonder what I could have done over the last 3 months. Yeah, this really occupied. I mean, I would have still had some mounts and stuff to farm. I could have spent some more time farming for my crackling shards. But is it trying to combat the notion that WoW has become too seasonal? Maybe. I mean, it is seasonal still. It's just that the seasons come so fast that you never have a chance to breathe. I did do 50 games of tic-tac-toe, much to my disappointment. It's not hard. I did it just while I was waiting for rares to spawn back when they were 10 minutes each. Going to play Requiem during the day with midnight later on during the day. Yeah, you have to win 50, but they're so fast. You can do it either from the camp, or if you get the toy, then you can do it wherever you are if you want to do it while you're waiting for stuff. It's just an achievement. It's in my opinion a large waste of time. It's like a feat of strength or something. Crunching for cultists. It's an event feat of strength. There is zero reason to want this. Early access, less of a cluster chunk, still login issues, NPC kill queues. Last time it went really smoothly, actually. Early War Within access I felt like was really good. I got fully leveled in one sitting, which I never do. Hopefully one day they'll add crosswords. Hyperfixated on the game by accident, got the achievement. Do it again! I'm trying to get my mining skill to 25, just for the sake of picking up the weeklies. It would be faster for me to just hop on a different character, but I always tried to do it on this character, so I may as well get her sorted. Do you intend to do it again? What? The tic-tac-toe thing? Asking for a friend. Or like this particular trading post thing. Probably not, but uh-oh. Oh, level in one sitting. Oh, I should decide. Last time I wung it. Last time I did it on a whim. I didn't plan to. I like leaving myself the option to go to bed. I get so cranky when I'm tired. Doing, like, marathon streams is just me yelling at you guys. Yeah, just wing it again. I'll do it if I feel like it. But the problem is that if I want to do it, and if I do plan to do it, or if I'm going to, it would behoove me to market it. It would be nice to tell people ahead of time so that they could plan for it, or so that I could promote it in any way. So I really should get over myself and just pick. No yelling, but a very silent, dark room, Hazel. Yeah. Some of us like it when you yell at us. Uh-huh. I get mean. Hazel after dark. Last time I was also still in an apartment that was like, you know, with neighbors. So I didn't want to be too loud because it was the middle of the night. This time I could be loud in the middle of the night. That's an option. Mining at 7. Did the tic-tac-toe thing while watching a movie, but the achievement didn't pop while the game was open. No idea how many games I actually played. Yeah, now I can yell at you guys louder, exactly. How many people raid with Hazel yelling at them in DBM? I don't need any more herbs. Let's stop tracking them. And just get minerals. Maybe I'll already have picked up the stuff that I need for the weekly by the time I get the weekly. You know what I hope never comes back? The exploding mining nodes. I still believe in the conspiracy theory that those are an anti-bot mechanic. And if true, I forgive them. Anything that blows up somebody who's trying to herb bot or mine bot is fine by me. But I just skip them. I just fully skip them. Even when I had fully specced into them, they're still a waste of time. If it's anti-bot, then make them all that way. Never had a Hazel stream and think, man, she's loud. Morning, Hazel. Good morning. How you doing? 10. I think 25 is going to be the point here. Bot could just skip them too. Depends on how smart the bot is. I don't know how they program these things. I'm not a cheater. Tired, yeah. I've come to recognize them as bait. I've died a few times. Remember in Dragonflight when the thing was the node that made the big wind gust that kicked you off of stuff? So you would pick a node on the side of a mountain and then it would just boof you off to your death. That was fun. Must be nice having a detached home. I get a letter under my door if I run an appliance after 10 p.m. I get consideration for others, but I work nights. Yeah. I don't think of myself as a loud person, but having a detached home is the finest of luxuries. I'm so lucky. It's so nice because I like having the option to do dishes or shower or run laundry in the middle of the night. You know, sometimes I drop things. I have a big dog. He likes to get zoomies. I don't want to worry about him making like a huge noise for the floor underneath us. Loud neighbors test the Jesus in me. I also used to have some people that lived above that were lovely people. Really considerate. But it was a big family with young kids, and there is only so much you can do to keep young kids from tornadoing. They had 3, I think they were boys. I think they were all boys. And every now and then there would be a thump, 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 crash, and you'd be like, well, they're down to 2. It's just like you could time your calendar around like when school was on or off, or like holidays, or like holidays where they had candy. It was the regular sound insulation was pretty good. You couldn't really hear like voices or TVs or anything, but any like thundering vibration-y stuff came through for sure. That is trap. That is bait. Nifty idea that they'd never implement would be the idea to do a puzzle and picking a node. Drop like 10 times the current amount would defeat the bots. Yeah, as long as they couldn't code for it. It would be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind doing like some of those Torghast puzzles. The little like line slidey block ones. Me and the tenants of 2 other apartments have our fingers crossed that my neighbors with a 5-year-old decides to finally move this summer. I mean, it's so tough though. Like if you're a parent of a young kid, what are you supposed to do? Caption every note. At a certain point, you gotta live your life. I have a subwoofer in my apartment. Surprisingly, no one complained. I used to live in an apartment above a neighbor that would complain about like regular footsteps during daytime hours. Not stomping or jumping or running. Regular walking on rugs. And then like when the 8-pound Klekai, or however much he weighed, he was a tiny dog. She would say the dog was making noise when the dog was like asleep on the couch. She would do the TV thing where she would bang the ceiling with a broomstick, therefore making way more noise for everybody because we were like walking. And it upset me greatly because one of my greatest fears is being inconsiderate to others. So the idea that I was being too noisy was shredding me, especially when I couldn't possibly be any quieter. It's a big load off of my anxiety to not have anybody that I could be bothering now with my noise. Yeah, can't imagine being that miserable. She did move eventually, but I think I was over her for 4 or so years. But I'm not over anybody now. He was a cute dog. He was a cute dog. He was a good boy. So bad I just left at the end of my lease. Management solution was wear slippers. Yeah. A lot of apartments just aren't built with enough sound reduction. But you don't want to live in that situation where you're the person where like you have a guest over and you're like, oh no, they're stepping harder than I would have stepped. Can you please step softly? Like you don't want to be that person. That's not a great situation to be in. I don't think I've ever asked anybody to step more softly on my behalf, but I've definitely like cringed being like, oh no, this is more than what I would have done. She's going to be mad. Talk about feeling like walking on eggshells, right? Place I live at, never hear anyone. Got my second noise complaint for cats running across the floor during the day. Yeah. A lot of these places are just made, and they just transmit so much noise. There's some interesting sounds in my last place. Yeah. I've lived in a few places where you could hear people celebrating their relationships through walls. I didn't really mind that. I wasn't listening for it, you know, but like, that was fine. You know, they're happy. What I could not handle was people screaming at each other or like abusing each other or abusing their children. I lived next to a awful family. Well, it was one awful person who was making the rest of his family's life hell, but like that was rough. Nobody wants to be watching TV wondering, should I call the cops? I think maybe. At what point do you call the cops? Give your visitors a big stick instead, Teddy Roosevelt reference. Celebrating the relationships, using that from now on. Yeah, at least they're happy. Everyone in my block is really nice. Cat is hurtling through my apartment at 3 a.m. pretending he's in Formula 1 race. No one's ever said anything. But I'm big lucky now. This add-on is called Farm Hut. What am I doing? I'm getting my mining skill up. Oh, two more mining nodes. And I have my mining skill up to the point that I can do these weeklies for trading post credit. That's what I'm after. That's why I'm here. Just kind of forgetting what I'm doing. Cut lumber while mounted in Draenor. Is that normal? I mean, it sounds nice. It's going to be normal. Druid flight form has counted. I feel like we don't have time to complete. No, I don't think we're going to get it done. I can take a look at the vendor regardless. I can do the big chunks. It's an extra big trading post this month. So getting to there is one thing, and getting fully done is another. People above would leave their dog on the balcony. Pee would rain down, or rain would wash poopy newspaper down. Yeah, that's not nice. That's not nice. I used to go to great lengths on my balcony. I would have plants and I needed to water them, and I used to try really hard to make sure I wasn't dripping any water down on the neighbor below. So I had like all of them in like these really deep watering trays, but you had to water them very carefully to make sure that you weren't going to overflow the watering tray. Or like I'd have a bucket and I'd move the plant in the bucket and then water the plant in the bucket and then wait for the plant to finish draining and then move it. And when you had like these big like 7-gallon peppers and stuff, it was quite the event. Being able to just water stuff and just let the water go where it's gonna go is also a luxury. It's also pretty nice. Morning, Hazel. How the heck are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Plus, this year I'm gonna have a hose. Every year to this point, I've been gardening with filling up a watering can in the bathtub and walking it out to the plants. This year, I have a hose. It just plugs in and then it goes. It's pretty fancy. Not all balconies have drains. No. That would be nice. Alright. Give me my weeklies. Thank you. Soft hoses, stiffer ones. Pain to coil. I think it's a bit stiffer. I bought it. And I wasn't willing to commit like a lot of money to it yet, especially when I had just moved and I wanted a hose to use, but like I had just moved, so I was like big broke. So I got the cheapest one I could get. So it's a little stiff, but it works. Believe me, anything's better than the bathtub watering can. Which was a revelation of tech over the kitchen sink watering can, which takes like 5 times as long to fill it up. Does Moose play with water? Sort of. He, I think, would bite the hose string. He mostly doesn't know what to do with it. He mostly doesn't really know what to do with the water. I love hose. Hazel got hose, yeah. One day I may get a nicer hose, but it will need to be at a coinciding of being frustrated with the cheap hose and having the money to want to put into a nicer one. That might happen one day, but it's not happening yet. Beautiful. Okay, we get 2 null stones, and then we can turn in the other one too. Clamps. Nice having more hoses than you have faucets for. Extended handle so I can water the roots without splashing water all over the leaves. Nice. Null stone. Don't think cheap hose is a good idea. I mean, it was better than no hose. When I bought it, it was cheap hose or no hose, and I didn't want to let the plants that were already planted at the house die. Sometimes you gotta compromise. Yeah. Hi. How you doing? Perfect. Okay, so we did that for the traveling points. We got them done. Let's do pet battles and crafting orders. I will hop back onto my priest. Does it stay that dry? Mother Nature can't take care of the watering for you. Not in the summer. It gets giga wet when it's not summer, but in the summer you gotta water your garden if you want it to not die. And you gotta be cognizant of drought restrictions too. I am getting crafting orders done. That's right. Had to get a new house this year. I used one to winterize my boat. Found out the old one wasn't feeding enough water to it until the overheat alarm sounded. Oh. Look at you with your boat. Alright, we need to do 10 crafting orders. Ideally, cheap ones. I used to try to pick like a flask crafting order to do first to get like the fleeting thing and then get like a free flask. Like I would have started with this one, but I'm lazy now. I'm on a boat popped into my head. Why am I like this? You know what I just found out they rebooted? Apparently HBO picked up the rights to Clone High, of all things. I like saw it while I was scrolling Crave and I'm like, oh, they have the old one. That's weird. And I started watching it and I'm like, wait, this isn't the old one. What do you mean? So I'm rewatching the old one before I start the new one. Can't. Wild that that got picked up after all this time. What High? Clone High. It's like an old animated show. It used to be popular when I was a kid. Yeah, sometimes the fleeting ones give me some juice. Because this is my main. It's not a professional, so sometimes I can get a flask that I'm actually using for like raid, but... Oh yeah, oh I did get a fleeting one. Here we go. Pop it on. May as well. Man, that takes me back. That is too young for me. When did it air the first time? When did Clone High air? November 2nd, 2002. Oh, it's Canadian. I didn't know that. Oh no, it aired in the US. It just aired a year later. Animated sci-fi sitcom made for MTV. Aired in 2002. Yeah. I was in high school. I think I was in high school when I got into it. I think it was older by then. Or it was a few years older by then, but... We would, my friends and I would like quote the show all the time. Seems I missed that one. I definitely didn't watch it on MTV. I'm pretty sure I watched it on like YouTube. What was the other one with Dougler? I don't know. I didn't even know it was MTV. Undergrads. Next to be talking about reboot. Girlfriend in high school used to watch. Oh, Degrassi. Yeah. I never watched Degrassi, but I know that it's Canadian, and I know that the musical artist Drake played a kid in a wheelchair. That's what I know him from. Forget the character's name. Also forgot what I was doing. Crafting orders for trading posts. That's what I'm up to. I was checking on enchanting ones. Glamours. Reboot defined much of my childhood. Iridescent spores. My wife liked Sweet Life with Cody and Zach. Listen, I didn't even watch it, and I can tell you it's Zach and Cody. Is this like when someone pretends to get a name wrong so they can swear that they're not into it? What did you like watching at that age? Non-accusatory. Genuine question. Simpsons? Star Trek. Nice. Zach and Cody were like the 2000s Olsen twins. Were the Olsen twins not the 2000s Olsen twins? I guess they might have been 90s. Original Kids of Degrassi Street Show. Never watched any of them. Yeah, my wife listened a lot to Boys Backstreet. Those boys that were like, what were they? Were they in tune? I think they were in tune. Gilligan's Island original Transformers. Nice. Did I do my trading post thing? Traveler's log. Professions. Crafting orders. 2 more. Need 2 more. It's nice that they flag it as not begun yet. They'll show you the date range, but they'll also show you that it's not active yet for some of these. Too busy playing WoW to watch these things. I spent like my tween years watching anime on YouTube. We watched a lot of shows on YouTube that were probably like bootlegs and shouldn't have been on YouTube. Yeah, in 2 to 3 parts, exactly. Exactly. Sometimes even more than that. Watching Naruto on YouTube, exactly. That's the one I watched. I watched a lot of Naruto. I watched Ouran High School Host Club. And then something about a trumpet player with green hair. Some kind of a band-based one. Those are like my main ones. Waking up at like 3 a.m. to the Inuyasha outro blaring on the TV. I have not seen that British show, no. I also never watched later Naruto. I had already kind of fallen out of it by the time they had done the time skip. I watched a tiny bit of that, but then I know they made more of it and I never followed through. Early access, pay to win now. There's probably other valid ways to get your trading post bar filled. It's probably possible. We'll do pet battles and then I'll pop back and look at the vendor. Stop during Boruto, a bit too much of a change for me. Shippuden, yeah, that was about where I washed out. I watched a few of those and then I fell out of it. My anime phase was very strong but very short-lived. Maybe 13 to 15 years of age? Because I think when I was about 16, that was about when I got into WoW. I'm going to Stormwind, that's right. Teenage years were spent with the Doctor. A lot of my friends were super into Doctor Who. I missed it, but they were real into it. We all watched different shows. One of my best friend was really into Invader Zim, but for some reason I never saw it. But I knew what the branding looked like because she had like Invader Zim shoes or something. I have a hard time watching things with real people. Nowadays, I feel like if you had a friend that was like super into a show, you would probably watch it just so you could talk about it with them. Or like, I don't know, in like the 2010s, things like Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead were like appointment TV, so everybody would watch it and then everybody would talk about this week's episode of The Walking Dead or whatever it was. Pets. There we go. Still watch the old 90s Trek and I'm a big Deep Space. You're in a big Deep Space Nine kick. Doctor Who can be oddly engaging. Grew up being the only one I knew who liked it. Much later, my sister wound up getting hooked on it. It was a product of the 90s. Unless Fruits Basket counts as a classic. I think so. I remember my friend did a Fruits Basket cosplay for a convention. Didn't watch Game of Thrones, but I knew all about it. Yeah, it was one of those things you could kind of just absorb it. I have a thing where the more popular something is, the more I don't care, thus never watched or have any concern for Game of Thrones. I know that feeling. I don't always... There's a sweet spot for me where, like, if just enough buzz is around for something, and I feel like I'm discovering it, I will watch it early and I will be obsessed with it. If there's too much buzz, or the death knell is if too many people I know are trying to get me to watch it, my demand avoidance kicks in and now I won't do it. It has to be just the right amount of making me think it was my idea for me to actually pull the trigger and watch a show. If everybody's saying you have to watch this, then I'm being like, you don't know me. Why? Me with Star Wars refused to watch it. I don't remember which character it was. Why I never watched or read anything Harry Potter was at the age of being super apprehensive of popular culture. Since gotten over that attitude, yeah. One or two people will actually listen to when they suggest something. There's something to be said for finding people that talk about their media tastes that kind of line up with your media tastes. Like, if you find like a media reviewer on a website or something, some people still make those, that you know tends to like the same things that you like, it's going to be a much better recommendation than like the algorithm. I'm kind of shocked that the algorithm is still this bad at recommending things that I would actually like after all of these years. I feel like it would have been good if they didn't insist on like pushing things just because someone spent marketing money on it. I was a Babylon 5 fan, and woe to anyone who watched those out of order. Like, one of the things that people told me to watch that I never watched Arcane. But I'm a hard sell with animated shows now. I'm a hard sell with fantasy stuff. I'm not that interested in video game properties. I'm sure it's a good show, but I don't think... It just never talked me into it. And the fact that everybody was like, you have to watch Arcane, definitely put me off of it. It's just one of those things. There's a pet in here. Can't get it, though. I did watch Severance. I did. I want to watch Pluribus. I just don't have Apple TV right now, and I'm kind of waiting until I can cancel something so I can sub to it for a month. Would a WoW show interest you? No, I don't think so. I think if they made a show, I don't know if I would watch it. I think if I was hungry for more WoW media, I would read the WoW books, and I'm not interested in the WoW books. Enjoyed Castlevania? You should not watch Arcane. Did reverse psychology work? Watch a WoW show with that Blood Elf rogue who got the crown at the housing cinematic. The housing promo at the end of stream made me want a housing show. Yeah. It looked cute. There's got to be more than cute to make a good show, though. Show on an Apple TV about an MMO dev team. I tried watching that. I watched 2/3 of the first season. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I forget what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about. No, I haven't watched any Dropout stuff. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's very, like, parasocial. Like, people get really into, like, the vibes and friendships between these real people. Archon or Voidweaver? It was Voidweaver during the War Within. I can't speak to Shadowland or to Midnight yet, though. Yeah, it was Mythic Quest. I didn't like Mythic Quest. The Guild is what you're thinking of, Alferis. I've seen an episode or two of it. I don't remember it grabbing me one way or the other. Portal on G4 TV about a guy who could enter the MMO. They used in-game characters to roleplay. The anime that I watched that was about that. Sword Art Online. I do remember enjoying that. The first season of Sword Art Online. Just this idea of like getting locked into a VR MMO. Love Jujutsu Kaisen, but man, has a lot of the fan base made it embarrassing to talk about. I feel like the safest place to be for most fan bases is not in the fan base community. Especially if something gets too popular. There's going to be a point at which the places where the fans congregate just gets crazy. Just out of hand. That's a pretty mount. That is a new Shala. Shadow's Guidance. And you get her... Did I do the pet battles yet? 3 more. For collecting 600 mounts. Let's check a beast pet down here. Feels kind of weird to sick my in-game dog on lost lambs. Oh dear. Whoops. I'm getting sidetracked with lumber. I need 3 more pet battles. That's what I'm after. Clearly you like pretty mounts. Here's a pretty mount. It's one of the nicest mount collecting meta mounts they've given us. I'm a big fan, especially because I don't have the Firebird, I don't think. Oh yeah, that one's stuck. That's right. Let's go back to the entrance. There's lots of straightforward pet battles over there. Yeah, monthly pet murder, exactly. That's what we're up to. The Rock Frog. He's part of the Rock, but also a frog. Missed network scheduled shows. Excitement of going to school, work next day to talk about it. Yeah. There's increasingly a movement of returning to weekly show releases, even through streaming. As an example, I'm currently watching The Pit. I binged the first season, which was a great way to experience it. But now, my Thursdays are like, ooh, every Thursday there's another episode of The Pit coming out, and that's what we do on Thursday nights, and we're like looking forward to it. I think that networks, or not networks, but like streamers have kind of realized that there's something to be said for the weekly rollout. I prefer 1 episode a week to 4 episodes a month, though. I don't like it when they drop half a season at a time. Either let me binge or pace me out. Don't do it halfway. I know Netflix does it for money, but I hate it. I just caught up on the first half of the new Bridgerton season, and I enjoyed it, but I will have fully forgotten what's going on by the time we get the second half of the season. And yes, I could pace myself, but what do I look like? A person with self-control? Absolutely not. Netflix noticed with anime that weekly releases work better. When they do it on either side of a month, and I guess they could just do it weekly as well, but like, it's to make sure that somebody that's coming back just for that show, they sub for 2 months instead of just 1. Dornigal. This way. Like having time to watch the show without having the ending spoiled for me. Current season of The Traitors had a weird rollout. 3 episodes first week, 2 for the second week, 1 a week. Can we please have 24 episodes in a season again? Yeah, really short shows get me sometimes. Heated Rivalry is only 6 episodes. Throw on big shirts, sweatpants, couch yourself away. We watched the first season of The Pit in like 3 sittings or something like that. We had like a lazy weekend. The weather was terrible. I was kind of like cranky and not feeling great. And we ended up just like, exactly like you're saying, like sweats, couch, TV binge. There's something, it's nice when you do it with somebody. Can't watch it. I feel like I'm gonna get caught by mom. Trading post. So we're getting through the bar. What am I gonna do for the rest of this? I know that there is some... there's Dark Moon Fair, Twilight Ascension. Yeah, so World and Weekly quests and event bosses for Twilight Ascension are going to give... Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do for Trading Post, is more of the pre-patch event, because I need the insignias anyways. I like doing that with a good game. Yeah. If you're off, start watching ER again. Thanks, Noah Weil. I tried watching the first episode of ER because I had run out of The Pit to watch, and I was, like, fiending. And it was cute seeing baby Noah Wiley on the TV, but... after having watched The Pit, I can't go back to like having like the dramatic soundtrack and like the 2 doctors stop in the middle of a crisis to like have a conversation about their feelings. It's a little too soapy. I like that like tense realism that you get out of The Pit. Partner and I ended up watching an entire Umbrella Academy season in 1 sitting. Each season 10 hours, went home with COVID. Sick and cozy. Binged Murderbot twice. Second time watched it with my mom. Was sure she'd be too tired to binge it, but she kept saying next episode. It was cute. Grew up with ER, so I'm biased. Grey's Anatomy's my guilty watch. My mom loves Grey's Anatomy. I don't have my whole bar filled, but we can still look at what's on offer here. Maybe it looks nicer on Not a Gnome. It looks a bit mismatched. At first I thought, what is displaying that's competing with this? Nothing. The helm's cool. Yeah. I'm never gonna use it though. Pull blades, longbows. Someone's gonna buy this. Someone's gonna be a blood elf hunter with that in Midnight. Yes, Sindari Captain stuff is nice. Definitely gonna be some hunters with pink quivers. That helm says we need Sethrak as a player character. It's a nice bow. I don't have a blood elf hunter though. Spent 3.5k tenders today. Been a while since that happened. Don't like this color. I like pink, but that's too purple for me. And then returning. Oh, I never did get the Silverman Sweeper. I'm pretty sure I have this in another color, and that's why I didn't buy it. I might though. It's nice. This thing. This is nice, but we are lying to ourselves if we're saying that is not going to giga clip into the floor. Just show the floor normally. Don't pretend that I can see this if I actually buy it. But that's not the only vendor, is it? Isn't there another one? There's another vendor somewhere. If we don't human the tassels clip. Behind you. Oh, the balloons. Thanks for all your hard work these years. Thank you. Alright. So these... discounted... Okay, so I don't have them. Because one of these vendors is going to have like the end of the month rewards or the fill the bar rewards, and I should have those. It's not these. These are discounted. Discounts, hang on. Creatures and toys. Completionist. Yes. Okay, so the completionist vendor, I have everything. It's a chance to go back and get fill the bar rewards that you've missed from the past year. But I do have them. Are these really fill the bar rewards? They're sad. Okay, so that's one vendor. Two vendor. So this is mounts, pets, and toys. Some of them are full price. Some of them are cheaper. Oh, the fish for 500. I thought long and hard about this fish. But I couldn't justify 800. I might get it for 500. Same thing with these ones. 600 was too much. 300, maybe I can do it. Maybe not the War Saber, but the Werewolf is nice. Yeah, I know. I have 12k. This is why I have 12k. I'm cheap. And then we have these all already. Let me see pets. There's only 2 pets on the list here that I don't have yet. And for 200 each, we could probably do it to be caught up on the pets. The toys can bite me. I'm not spending 200 tender for a parasol. Okay. You never know what might show up in the trading post. Yeah. I think this is a good opportunity to spend some, though. I think the discount vendor is definitely helping. Trader store different than mine. Are you looking at the same vendor? It's down the way a little bit. It's not right over here where the trading post is. There's more vendors kind of up the walkway. There's a bunch of them. This one has weapons and armor sets. I don't think they're going to get me with weapons and armor sets. Maybe an armor set if it was nice. The weapons, not so much. First today, new traders post. Yeah. These crowns look crazy. The back piece is nice. I'm not going to use it, though. I love the earmuffs, but I have the Alliance ones. These are nice. Am I going to use it? Maybe. Might pick out one of these two. Maybe the blue one. Still a Brad, thanks for the 42-month resub. Officially only spending tender once a year now, it sucks. They don't bring everything back though, do they? I remember I bought this, then I refunded it because of how badly it because it sheathed on the hip upside down so all the money would fall out. It looked so bad when it was sheathed on a gnome that I just gave up on the whole business. I refunded it. It was the only thing I ever refunded. Lots of stuff here. Perfect for rogues to pickpocket you. Yeah. Bring back enough that it's correct to just save. Yeah. I still think it's worthwhile to invest earlier in the year so you can enjoy the mounts over that period of time. You know, if I hadn't bought my pearlescent butterfly, I wouldn't have been able to ride it for all these months. Wow, it's a long list, huh? I feel like I'm too tired to too lazy to like click through all of this. One mace at a time. It's a cute fan. Pretty sure it's a recolor or something I have though. Personal climate changer. Oh boy. Here's a red watch. There's a blue watch. Do my characters want watches? They're 60 per. Is this like a pink watch? It's a little bit like a pink watch. I wish it wasn't iron on the outside of it. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going. Ugly black boots, ugly white boots. Wow, they mean it too. Look at it clipping through the rogue. Yeah, the only things I had from here were the leaky bucket and the lion's crest earmuffs. That's it. Could see myself going for this, the little blue witch staff with the bow on it. It's not discounted though. Maybe. I think I have enough wings. Staves are one of the only weapon types that I usually will invest in. Oh, I guess I have it in a dark color. Because I often play casters and I usually mog staves. I have most of the diver stuff. More colors of this. You never have enough wings. Once I've kind of covered my major color groups, I think I can have enough wings. Buying these pink sweats. Did not know about the extra vendors. We'll check them out after Darkwing Fair Professional quests. Yeah, you betcha. These are nice sets. I think I didn't get this one though because this robe is not my color. I have this robe in yellow and it's a nicer color. Oh, it's a polearm. If that was a staff, we'd be talking. Yeah, I have some of the dandelion stuff. Yeah, I bought the dandelion dress and I bought the floral staff. That's right. Oh, yeah. Look at me, I'm Sylvanas. Some of these things it kind of paid off to not buy because there were recolors that came out shortly afterwards with holidays and stuff like that. Yeah, I have a bunch of tender. I might spend some of it. I'm kind of thinking about what I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to do anything today. I don't remember this one. That's crazy. Holy Mad Max. For half price, some of these ensembles. I have to be realistic though. Am I gonna wear it? Maybe. Maybe on a mage. 400's a lot of tender. You could buy them out for that. Just bought a bunch. Yeah. It's a good time to stock up. Okay. Good to know. I've already forgotten what was on the original vendor. I feel like there was very little over here that I wanted. Probably not. Yeah, no, probably not. Maybe. But I think that there's other mounts that are cheaper and more discounted. I'm gonna hop out to the Twilight Highlands and maybe get a little more tender. Doing a little bit of pre-patch stuff. Apparently they updated the spawn times, so they spawn a little faster. That looks sick on a Nightborn Mage. I have a mage or two that I feel like would look nice in that set, but I also probably have other stuff for them to wear. I will never have all the trading post stuff, so I need to make sure I'm only getting stuff that I know I feel like I really like and would use. I don't think the mount comes in druid form. I think it's just a mount. You can get the red version as a druid form. I have done some housing. I've been big collecting. I have 1,100 and odd pieces of furniture collected. I've done some decorating. I'm not real good at the decorating. I don't have the touch. I'm better at the collecting part. Alright. So I have a... Once the next rare pops. I don't think I'll make it to this one in time. And my tender is gone. Yeah. Lots of stuff to spend it on this month. I might dump some of mine. There were a few things there that I feel like I would like. Or that feel like a good enough deal at half price. Some of the mounts. I think that fish. I think I'm going to get the Corrupted Behemoth fish. I wanted that one and I was on the fence about it because it was too expensive. Especially because I'm pretty sure I have fish. I'm pretty sure I have... No, not the bottom feeder. Oh, hey. I tag. Only bought the mountain pink pajamas. 1,300 tenders. Because collections. I know I'm never going to have all of it. Getting all of the mounts is just maybe affordable if you never get any transmog, but I don't know. There's a lot of sort of sad recolors out there. Auto waypoints for me. Looks like... Oh, hey, the add-on reorders them to put the current one at the top of the list. That's kind of nice. I should have a look at the world quests. Oh, yeah, there are some. We can do a few rares, too. There is trading post credit for all of this stuff. This event, there is Twilight Ascension. So there's one for getting Twilight's Blade insignias. There is one for weekly quest. I'm pretty sure there's one for just rares. Event bosses, yeah, five event bosses, and then there's you get another 50 if you do 10. This add-on, let me double check what it's called. I just got it recently. Pre-patch. It's not linked to my list yet. Midnight Twilight Ascension pre-patch. Let me grab a link. By Zemesto TV. Midnight Twilight Ascension pre-patch add-on. Yep, this is the one. There you go. You can click on these, it'll give you a waypoint. It shows you the order, it shows you the timers. And it will change their color as well. So if you're missing any, they will be shown in a different color on the list, so you can tell how long you will have to wait until the ones that you need will be up. If you're still working on the achievement. Recognize that add-on author? They've done some good ones. My most creative housing design was to spiral L rooms around so the door is in the center, and even I got lost and dizzy at times. I really like it when people kind of like build stairways and lofts within like one big room. I need to watch some videos and see more about how they do it. Like, I know how you do it, but like, I need to watch some videos so I can find out how they do it and make it look not like garbage. Because whenever I try and build something like that, like I built like a little platform and it's just kind of looks like an, oh wow, look, she made a little platform. Wow, I bet she thinks she's cool. Like there's not a lot. It's just a couple of stairs for no reason. Okay, I'm gonna do a world quest or two. Or I'm gonna try anyway. That's the add-on. I just linked it in chat. Decided I'm not creative enough. Heard about the WoW version of Zillow that's supposed to come out this month. No. Is there a purpose to houses? Fun. Houses are for fun. And expression. You can collect furniture and you can decorate your house with your furniture to make your own unique creation. A little corner of Azeroth that's just for you. And anyone you choose to allow inside. But it's not required, it is optional. Is there a purpose to video games? Is there a purpose to life? Sooner or later, we always end up there. You start any gaming stream on some kind of a WoW event, and you end up on wondering what the purpose of life is. Took us almost 3 hours to get there. Blizzard's creating a WoW version of Zillow, lists houses for sale on their website. So, like, helping you find an available plot. Like, if you want to be in plot 32, it helps you find neighborhoods where it's available. Or browsing, like, really nice houses just to visit and tour. There we go. Endeavor task and a trading post task. You just browse houses. Gotcha. Some of us can combine blocks into bigger blocks, and others are making replicas of famous monuments. When did I see? Oh, it was on a Daily Dose of Internet video. Some dude made a functioning typewriter out of Lego. Just bananas. Like, people are smarter than me. I think that's been the main lesson of my adulthood. It's coming to accept that some people are just on another level, and I am not, and I'm gonna have to make my peace with that. So yeah, someone made Pokemon in Minecraft. Fiance's mom's been in town for the weekend. Alright, hope you guys are having fun. Like a working gameplay that plays Pokemon. Host designers will become a thing? I think so. If you can, or like people posting import codes for like templates that people can customize. Thought you said Beyonce's mom is in town. Yeah, she never comes through here without visiting me. That's why I have to keep some nice tea. I don't know if Beyonce's mom has tea. I don't know if Beyonce's mom's still alive. I'll have to ask Beyonce next time I speak with her. Tactfully, of course. There's a button you could click to speak with a gnome real estate agent named Hazel. Aw, that's a cute name. I don't think it has anything to do with me. I hear Beyonce's going to BlizzCon. I'm not a big person of desire to meet celebrities. I enjoy, like, consuming their work online. I don't feel a need to, like, take selfies with them. Adamantis. I am clearly lost. There are other people and they're probably not right where I'm standing. Wow, cost of mogging went up a lot. Why did they do that? It's a slightly different system. So you'll pay more to mog, but you then don't have to pay any more to update it if you change out your gear. And you can also switch between any saved transmog sets you have in your list for free. So if you pay to save like 5 different outfits, you could put all 5 of them on your hotbar, and you can toggle between them without having to pay any extra gold. So it's more of an upfront cost, but it's more flexible at that point. Yeah, yeah, without that's not even mentioning situational transmog. I'm not good at this world quest. Does anyone have any tips for me? I'm not sure what's going on. Portal controllers used to weaken the Ascended. Clearly I've done that once. I don't recall doing that. I don't see any useful highlights on my map. I guess maybe there's something 300 yards this way? I don't really see a zone range on my map either. There we go. I found another one. I saw Selena Gomez once and I legit just said hi and that's all I had to say. I think if I spotted anybody I recognized, I wouldn't say anything. Find the guy, kill the guy, yellow arrow helps. Gotcha. I'm used to seeing a little bit more of like a region or something. But you're right, there is a waypoint. Although, I don't know if this is useful. It does say that's optional. Do I have another waypoint? Sort of, yeah. Oh, there it is. Click on the canister first. So if you don't click on the canister, you're doing the super special secret challenge mode. Rick Mercer crossed the street in front of my car in Toronto. I was so tempted to honk and wave, and proudly I did not. Doing it the needlessly hard way. I could say the same about a lot of things in games. Hey, didn't need it. Alright. We are going here. These are good insignias, right? How many insignias do I have? 84. When I get to 100, I can get a mount. It's not a cool mount, but it's a mount. Hi, Hazel and chat. Hello, how you doing? Happy Sunday. I'm glad that there's some overlap between something I actually needed to do and getting trading post credit. And apparently I'm getting Endeavor credit as well. I don't know why, but something popped up. Maybe it was just a misline. Maybe it was just trading post credit and it was just mislabeled. Off to celebrate my love of lunch. Whoa! World quest completion, yeah. Might have been it. Whenever I met a celebrity, so you're usually stunned at what they look like, shorter or whatever, the illusion instantly shatters. I think people probably have an image of me that's a bit different than what I look like in person, because, like, you see me from one angle, so you get one side. You don't get the posture that much. And height may or may not come across. I'm a bit tall. I'm not wildly tall, but I'm taller than average for North America. Hearing Hazel singing a modified cover saying, I did it the needlessly hard way. Taller than I'd expect. I think playing a gnome and embracing the gnome ethos might imply a shortness of stature that I do not possess. Yeah, I'm not 6'7". I'm 5'10". I'm about 178 centimeters. And shrinking, you know. It's all downhill from here. Yeah, when I did baking streams, it was easier to tell. And it also showed off my horrific posture a lot more. Took some time to look at the trading post. Thank you for that reminder. Of course. Don't miss the vendors down the way either. There's a lot of them this month. Hazel, I think you are 6'7". Oh, I get it. I didn't get it the first time. Horrific posture, part of being a WoW player. Doing yoga has helped my posture a little bit, but only when I'm doing yoga. Like, it makes me feel better, but as soon as I'm like, you know, 30 hours out from a good yoga practice, I just go right back to lobster. I think, anyway. I guess I don't have a lot of pictures to compare. Roughly my height until you posted a pic, I think, from the wedding you went to. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of stuff for scale. Reshy Raps do love the Razor Wing mounts. Have every one of those. Channel points to sit up straight? No, feels weird. I don't want to sell control over any aspect of me. Same height, fiance 6'2". I am the designated upper shelf reacher in my relationship. I am not going to play TBC Classic. No plans to. We're nearly finished for the day, but I'm good to hang out and chill for a few more minutes. Husband 6'5", I'm 5'3". I won't share his height, but I'm definitely the cup reacher. Yesterday I was at Trader Joe's and an older lady asked me to get something off the back of a shelf and I felt so empowered. Aww. I think I've done that once for somebody. Yeah. Shelf reaching ladies unite. This mount is Anushala Shadow's Guidance. That's the one. Did they fix this, by the way? I guess I can find out. Let's go try it. Oh, looking better. Wow, thanks, Blizz. Appreciate it. Can barely go to a store without people asking me to reach things. Are you particularly tall? Or is your community particularly short? Or is your grocery store particularly cruel and storing desirable items out of reach of most people? I feel like it's one of those three things, or a combination. Yes! Times the height is nice, others not so much. I feel some amount of back pain from counters and sinks in my home are quite short. My home is old and was built at a time when people weren't as tall as me. So everything's kind of... I'm not bonking my head on anything, but a lot of counters are kind of like hip crease height for me, which is a little low to be working. I end up like hunching over a little bit. Let's go do Voice of the Eclipse first, huh? Thought if so many people are asking for assistance, the store has issues. What if there's some manager of the store who's just on an absolute uncontrolled power trip and likes watching people futile, like... There must be a word for futile-ly. Reach with futility. Jumping. Desperate. Any plans to renovate your home? Yeah, give me a couple $100 grand. We'll talk about it. I'm trying to budget to buy, like, I don't know, faucets. I got a light switch to replace. I'm starting small. No, it's true. People were shorter a long time ago. I'm not joking. That's true. Do it. I don't really live in an area where it makes sense to put, like, 6-figure renovations into this house, even if I had that much money. There's a point at which you're just throwing away money because you're never going to raise the value that much. Or, like, you might raise the value, but you'll never sell it. Best thing about being tall, ignoring the warning to ask for help at the top shelf in grocery stores. I don't want to be here. I want to be at a different one. Used to have a job setting up those store shelves according to corporate blueprints. Jaded enough to just climb them. I used to do horrifically unsafe things with ladders at my last job. Don't recommend it. Be safe with ladders. Ladders are dangerous. Ladders get a lot of people into a lot of trouble. Seeing daily a new clean light switch or socket, pretty satisfying. Genuinely, any teeny tiny thing I do to this house, I fall in love with because I know that I did it and I made it mine. I've got like a little hand towel bar that's in one of the bathrooms that didn't have one, so before the hand towel would just like sat in a pile on the counter because I had nowhere to hang it. I put up a little bar, and I did that. It's me. Always wanted to be 2 inches taller so I could reach things in upper cabinets. I did not stack a ladder on top of an extra one for an extra height, but I did stand on the top shelf of a ladder where you were not supposed to do that, in heels, and then go on like tippy toes on one foot to reach something heavy that was over my head to then carry down the ladder. And it was funny because I'd be getting like a printer box, right, or like a laptop or something, and the customer that I was retrieving it for would be like, "Are you sure I can't do that for you?" Because they'd be like, I don't know, a tall adult man, and I'd be like, "Nope, you're not allowed." See ya! Nipping up the ladder. In hindsight, should have had a taller ladder, but I was the only one tall enough to grab that stuff. In that department, anyway. Yeah, and Asha's Spectre somewhere. Whatever the Canadian version of Asha is. WorkSafe BC, that's the one. Listen, they can't complain if you never get hurt and if no one ever sees. I'm getting transmogs from these now. I guess I do need item appearances. Do I have enough badges for the mount? I do. Let's go buy a mount. Wow. Now that I've worked in medical fields, I hardcore agree. Be safe on ladders. Yeah, heels are something I learned to master in my late 20s. I can do like a heeled ankle boot, but I don't anymore. I have no reason to. I have nowhere to wear them. It's fun being tall in public, but I don't need to be that glamorous for anything in my life, so I don't wear them anymore. I don't even think I own any right now. That's just the armor. Gray's giving Midnight Cosmetics, kind of cool. Look like a baby deer without heels. Never tried them, never will. Or with heels? Or without heels? I'm still not that. I still walk a little bit funny in them. I can kind of sort of do it. But like I said, like ankle boots with like wide flat ones. We're not walking in stilettos. That is something. I remember I had a Spanish teacher. I didn't even take Spanish, but I had a Spanish/drama teacher at school when I was a kid. And she was one of those ladies that wears stiletto pumps every single day. And she was probably in her early 40s. And her calves were ripped. And her feet were busted. It kind of put me off of the idea of wearing heels all the time. It looked so painful. She clearly loved them, otherwise she wouldn't have been doing that. But like, yeah, rip her ankles. They were high. She was like a tiny lady. she was short. So maybe she felt like she wanted the extra boost, but or she was glamorous. So I think it went with the vibe. But all right, retrain Sky Raider. There we go. Shorten a ligament, make it uncomfortable not to. Yeah. I was a kid, so I spent a lot more time on floor level, especially in drama class. So you got a good eye full of the calves. Work with a doctor who wears heels running around the hospital like the skinny type stilettos. That's bananas. That's like unhinged. Kitten heels are usually short heels that are kind of like a little bit narrow in the heel and then they flare out to support your heel. They're usually recommended as like beginner heels if you want heels but you don't want like a big one. I had a pair of kitten heels in high school. I wasn't very good at walking in them. She will run into an emergency with her heels. It's crazy. Some people are dedicated. Yeah, it's about the vibrant look. Nobody sees my feet. I wear hiking shoes or I wear my Blundstones, which are just boots. Like a leather Chelsea boot. Or I have like a pair of like slip-on Skechers that I got so I could take my shoes off and on really fast for yoga class. I am still up. I should probably turn it off at some point. Had a pair of Jeffrey Campbellitas 15 years ago. I've not worn heels since. Struggle a bit with kittens. Totally fine with skyscrapers. Fell down my stairs in my garden shoes not too long ago. Hit the step wrong when stepping down. Tripped myself. Coworker used to wear high heels every day and climb the stairs. Her calves were jacked. Keep buying the same boots for years. Same color Timberlands. Hey, if they keep making them, then you know that they fit. I need good arch support at this point in my life. That's why I like hiking shoes, is I like a really good supportive shoe, especially if I'm going to be walking a lot. And then if I'm going to be driving, I cannot wear a shoe that is not pretty snug to my foot. I don't like the feeling of my shoe sliding around if I'm trying to drive. So now that I have the mount, the next thing on my shopping list, I have the mount and I have the pets and the toy. So I guess the next thing on my shopping list is probably decor. Oh, I would never drive barefoot. Isn't it like illegal to drive in flip-flops because they get jammed? Or is it just not recommended? Explosion hiking shoes. I have the hardest time because cheap hiking shoes are no good, but I wear hiking shoes out, so I know no matter how expensive they are, I'm gonna have to replace them every like second year anyway. So I try to find like a sweet spot and a good sale on like Merrell's or something. They last longer if you can rotate them so that they can kind of decompress, but you will eventually wear out the support. Driving flip-flops illegal in Ohio. Year to year and a half, yeah. Hard buying shoes that don't feel like lounge shoes. If I have slip-ons, take them off for that reason to drive, not secure enough to my feet. I would be that person that literally keeps driving shoes in my car. I would keep driving shoes in my car before I drove them bare feet. Power to you if you're comfy doing it, but like I would have something that I could store in my car, and then I would sit there in the parking lot and change my shoes. How are we doing on trading post for this? Holidays and events. Pedestrians, thank you. Yeah, those of them that are left. What are we doing? Event bosses 4 out of 5. One more, and then I'll get another thing done. Super long time. Last thing I remember, you were going for a driving test. Yeah, it has been a few minutes. That was in, what, 2020? So 6 years ago? I've had my license for a little bit. I'm still anxious about driving, but not as much as I was when I was learning. Am I in the right spot? I am in the right spot. That's nice. I'm afraid of aggroing too many things. I'm gonna die. Yeah, a lot has happened since then. Since 2020, I got divorced, and then I moved. And then I moved again. I came back to Canada. I got remarried, and then I bought a house, and now we're here. And at some point I got a dog. That's the Cliff Notes version. Healthy amount of anxiety while driving keeps you safe. I like to think I'm just taking it very seriously. You wanted the dog first, got him. Exciting half decade for you. Yeah, last year was a big year. It's a lot of big changes. I am originally from Canada. Then house, then hubby? I got married before I got my house. And I was in that relationship before I got my dog. That was just when I started telling you guys that I was in a relationship because I didn't want you guys worrying about why I wasn't looking after my puppy while I was streaming, because there was someone else looking after him. I never had American citizenship, but I forfeited my green card. I gave up my green card. Why on earth would I keep my American citizenship if I had it? That just lets them take your money for taxes for the rest of your earthly life. Can we ask how you met? Yeah. I could give up some husband trivia. I could let some things slide. How'd you meet? Well, we were friends. We were friends for a long time before we were ever, like, romantically involved. I'll give you a hint. You might know him. Yeah, it's cute. Met on a daily quest chain. You offer to help him. I feel like people know this. It's not a huge secret. Yeah. Yeah, I married Flabby. Surprise! I do it. Yeah, it's not like all of our friends know. Kind of explains why Flabby helps you out all the time. He helped me when we were just friends. He's just a nice person. But yeah, I kidnapped him. I always suspected that. It was not terribly subtle. Helped you move? Did leave? Yeah. No idea who Flappy is. Congrats. He's somebody I've been playing WoW with for a really long time. Does marriage entitle you to half of Flabby's WoW gold? Consulting lawyers. Flabby is not on Twitch. He's not a content creator. He shows up on my stream sometimes. Yeah, nothing like marrying your best friend. I thought he was just a super helpful for no reason guilty. He is helpful. He helps lots of people. Yeah, when he helped you move, my first thought was if he's not already spoken for, there's no way. I'm coming. There's no way. I'm just spilling your secrets. That they didn't end up together. Married couples have to mount Gora for rights to the WoW gold.
What are you telling him?
Everything.
Okay.
He's not from Canada. No, he's American. So he's immigrating. It's a long process that is ongoing. Buttery smooth voice. Does his IRL decor taste match his housing style? Used to discourage in case Flabby had a spouse. So be asking, who is this Hazel person everyone thinks you're with? I always used to figure that one day he would like meet someone and get married, and then I wouldn't be able to hang out with him as much. And I always figured that was like fine. We had a platonic friendship for like a long time. Do you have a gazebo tower in your backyard? How did you meet? We became friends through PvP. I was playing Arena, and I was introduced to him from a friend of a friend. There was a couple of us that used to stream. He didn't stream, but he kind of like played with people that streamed. He found, I think he found one of my streamer friends like on Facebook or something, and then started playing with them. And then I got introduced, and I started playing too. Yeah, time to start playing Arena. It's where all the best husbands are. I want to meet my person in a WoW. So jelly. But we weren't like a couple at the time. Remember your Arena days. Yeah. Cute, happy for you. He's real nice. I gotta go, by the way. He's made lunch and it's ready, so I do gotta go. I will be back next week for Wednesday's stream. Yeah, good stuff to come. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.